Okay, so today at Elon Musk's recommendation, no less, I'm trying Polytopia for the first time. It's not something I'd ever even heard of, but I mean, the point he was trying to make was more broad, just like any strategy game, 4X game, something of this genre, you could use ubiquitously. I don't know why he just singled this one out. Yeah, I've never played it before. Like I said, I hadn't even heard of it before that. So I put it on my list at that point of like thousands of games that I want to get around to trying. We got to try Clash of Clans now too, just like all these weird things that have a certain following that I've just never played, obviously. Although even this, I'm not following his advice fully because he even mentions, I think, oh, it's you can play it on your phone, but I'm playing it on PC. Not that that should only improve the experience. And I don't know to what extent it's going to be PvP, or I'll try to make some sort of single player permanent thing out of it. I do like the art style, definitely. And it would be the second time I've used the Elon Musk related title. The other one was from Star Citizen, where it's like, I love the part where he says, he terraforms the sun and says, I am the Star Citizen. I like that one. But yeah, to address even what he said it in a bit of a snarky way, but there is some good value in it. And similar to some of the stuff I said, because of how much I play chess, people sort of glorify chess too unrealistically. But here's the simplest way to put it. When you look at any game that happens in real time, it's objectively more complicated than chess for this simple fact. And that doesn't mean that chess is bad or anything like that, or that you shouldn't play it, or that you personally can be the best player at it. All these kind of fallacies and ad hominem that they throw at you, it could just be a choice. You know, if you studied your whole life to do it like a professional career, that's different than somebody who just plays it normally. So it's not really fair to compare that. Like you cook your dinner in the microwave, why aren't you as good of a chef as Gordon Ramsay? The same way that you're playing a game at 1,000 rating after coming home from a day of work, why aren't you as good as Magnus? But you haven't even they're two different fields, right? One is trying to do it as a career, one is trying to do it on the side, and then you have those legends like Luke McShane, who is just doing it as a part-time hobby, I guess, and is still a super grandmaster. But the point is that they'll point out these figures like, oh, it has 66 billion to an exponent number of positions in chess, right? But that's not a good thing. That's actually a bad thing for this discussion because it's the opposite interpretation and concept that I always talk about. The fact that you can single out and define how many exact positions there are means that it is a finite solvable game, no matter how complex that might be, right? It's compared to other games. That's what you're really saying. So, for example, let's look at Warcraft 3 or something, some other, strategy game or RTS game. You could have like every unit, right? You have way more choices of units. You make them yourself. You can combine, which ones you have together. You can have them all on different points of the map. So let's say you have 50 different units in 50 different places. Then not only could those change from second to second, right? The real time element is what really makes it so infinite. Try to measure those number of positions, or like League of Legends or something. Cho'Gall is on one side of the map, and Kale is on the other side of the map, and like all this kind of stuff. So every inch, this is how ludicrous the comparison is that people would try to glorify chess. You could literally have every character in any game, Fortnite or something, on a different square, a different space of the map. There you go. That's an infinite number of possibilities. So without even combat, killing anybody, movement, any of the mechanics in the game, just have your character in Fortnite stand on one spot. That's one position. Stand on the next spot. Oh, that's one. Like move 1 foot square up, one step up. So have everybody just rotate around in every possible position ever, and that'll be more combinations of positions than chess. And it is actually relevant to the game too because that's part of the strategy of where you're choosing to be. So that part I find kind of silly. Yes, it has a ridiculous number of possibilities, but so does every game. First of all, even like checkers was a lot more difficult to solve than people thought. It took until 2008 to do it, as much as people mock that. But basically, the point is that, yeah, I don't see why that argument has any valid value to it. Try to come up with a finite number then for any game that happens in real time, right? Could be League, could be Valorant, could be Counter-Strike, right? Because every second movement is happening, decisions are happening, everything is flexible. It's not stuck and stiff and stuck in place. Of course, I love turn-based games, but there's nothing wrong with just acknowledging how they actually work and not. There's so much actual chess propaganda. I feel like it's something I have to be objective about. To improve Polytopia usage statistics, yeah. So I don't know whether I should do multiplayer or not. I should get like one try in the campaign or whatever, like single player. But it feels like a shame not to try that. That's what we did like with Titanfall, but then I died so fast, then I ended up just trying again. Ambience, tribe music, full screen, anti-aliasing. Suggestions I almost don't want, but confirm turn. Yeah, he's talking about fog of war and all kinds of stuff. I almost don't want suggestions, but I don't know to what extent that's going to impact it. Hmm. That could make the difficulty right there. 286, 344. All tribes. Okay, we don't want to spoil all that either. About, okay. Throne room. Alias games played 0. It would be fun. Like, we should do it somehow. Like, every faction gets its own life. Like, I play as each one until I lose or something. I played very few of these kind of games, whether it be 4X, strategy, civilization, whatever, Total War, Age of Empire, stuff like that. Even RTS games. I brought up Warcraft 3, but like that's one of the only ones I played. Or, I was never very good at stuff like that where you're on the clock. This makes it seem like it's turn-based still, though, because it does say end turn. Yeah, like Don't Starve, one of my favorite games ever, but the fact that you're on the clock, I'll kind of derp around and I'm just exploring. Meanwhile, I'm starving and there's all these kind of things going on. You're getting attacked by hellhounds and stuff. So I can't decide whether I should have that on or not. I'll turn it off. You have been chosen to rule the Imperious tribe. Explore the world and expand your empire, but watch out for other tribes. Your tribe will gift you. Your tribe gifts you these resources. Spend them wisely. Already found a typo, maybe. Your tribe gift you. Harvest fruit to grow your city. Okay, so how do you do it? Select a fruit tile within the borders of your city. Select the harvest fruit option. By extracting the resources within your borders, you can level up your city. Oh, you can't zoom in more than this? Harvest fruit. Produces 1 population for Loip. Must be on a tile with a fruit. Do it. Now, can you just do that with all of them? Like, you don't need to allocate resources to it or something? Loip upgraded to level 2 and production is increased by +1. You get to pick an additional reward. You seem to just have infinite manpower. Train a warrior so we can capture the village. Select your city on the... I wish you could zoom in a little bit more than this. Select your city on the unit, your city, and select the unit you want to train. Units... Okay, so you got to select the thing out in the field to pick it up. You got to select the village to make stuff. Units. Units can be used to explore the map, capture villages, fight your opponents. Of course, everybody who's playing is going to be a tryhard. Actually, these last 2 weeks I played, like, I'm trying to test, like, how much are you really on the clock? Last week I played Guns Up, which is like a surprisingly simple, casual kind of clicker game, meant for mobile and stuff, but it was actually pretty good. And that's because that one's going offline. This I have no idea. Or like, when did this come out even? I think that'd be worth to know, just because I'd never really heard of it until it got mentioned there. So that's some free advertising. It came out in 2016. Like, let's look at what else we could interact with. Or we could try to pick up those, move a unit to capture the city, just kind of see what all the tiles are. This is obviously your Fog of War, which looks a little bit weird. And it even makes a nice little sound. You need to research sailing to... It seems like very simplistic compared to some 4X games. Like, I remember that time I played Hearts of Iron 4, and like the first hour of the stream was just like me sitting there reading all the tooltips, and I'm like so overwhelmed by it. Like, it obviously being the 4th game in the series, I would expect you to already know how a lot of stuff works, but it was hilariously just like... It doesn't really feel intuitive right away. This resources outside of your empire. Water, fish. You need to research navigation to be able to move. You need to research climbing to be able to move. Why do you have to research it? Just climb. Like, what do you mean? They want to be spoiled by technology. We're already in modern society. Or what was that game that sort of tried to go from the caveman age to the, like, humankind? I at least like the premise of it. Like, you start off, you're a caveman, and then you'd work your way up to modern society. It's kind of a cool way of doing it. Okay, let's click on here. Hunting. Forest, wild animal. You need to research hunting to extract this resource. So I wonder, is this the size of the map all the way? Like, this would be where the enemy units are, and, like, that's it? It almost makes it seem small, I guess, just the way the camera works. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, see, would I be able to kill that much time in the course of an online game? Train a new Imperious warrior. Dash, fortify. This unit can attack after moving if there's an enemy within range. This unit gets to defend. So that would mean normally you can't attack. You have to move and then attack the next turn or something. This unit gets a defense bonus when defending its own cities. Double bonus with a city wall. 10 health, 2 attack, 2 defense, 1 movement, 1 range. The UI is just like very clear and to the point. These games sometimes can mess that up. A good first round, end your turn to give your new unit energy. Now, how would you know that there's not more stuff that you can do? Like, how would you know how many things you can do? Why can't I hunt? Why can't I? I guess the stars might count. Like, why can't I gather this too? I didn't really fully see how it's limiting that. But we're making the unit. No actions left. Press next. Next turn to move this unit again. But that's just for that particular unit. Produces one population. Must be on a tile with a wild animal. You need to research hunting to extract this. Oh yeah, here's the tech tree. All the things that he was dropping in his little description. No tech trees. No fog of war. This and that. Strategy, riding. I could do like a melee only build. Like just increase your damage. Or not even just melee, but just like combat only. Climbing, meditation. Yeah, this is really what I'm into. Being into psychology so much that the mental state is more important than anything else. You must research organization before you can do this. But didn't I already do it? You already researched this. This tech will enable the following. Harvest fruit. Okay, whatever. Let's end the turn. This is just against like AI and stuff anyway, but 29 turns left. I wonder how much time they would really give you though. So it's sort of turn-based, but it's also not at the same time. Maybe some of my comparison points were moot too. I'm talking about like Warcraft 3 and League and stuff, but that would be I just compare everything to League for some reason. Like, you know, that's even more possibilities because it's happening in real time. So every second is its own turn. Basically, you can't reduce it that way. So that is such a reductive way to look at it. The only reason why chess has that infinite number of possibilities, or 60 billion to an exponent number of possibilities that people would brag about, is actually only because you can define it and because it has a finite number of moves. Anything else would be, in real time, would be more complex to the point where you couldn't put a fixed number of outcomes or possibilities or moves because there's just too much going on in any given second. It's not as structured and scripted that way. Select your unit in the city. The blue markers appear places that you can move this turn. After moving the unit, well, what if you have so many that it'd be hard to keep track of like the blue overlapping with itself? After moving the unit, you need to end your turn for it to be able to move again. But what about all the other things that okay, now we get 3 stars for this turn. Forest, wild animal, you need to research. Now, how does this compare to his movement? Like, okay, you could just go there, explore sort of through the mountains. The presentation is actually kind of awesome. It's just very simple, but you could make more warriors, or you could try to... This is where I always sometimes raise questions in these games. Like, would I rather make another unit and just, you know, actually be able to defend myself if he's trying to Zerg me, if this was like an online match? Or would I be more inclined to like do a tech tree thing, which is good, but I wouldn't typically prioritize that. Like why can't I harvest fruit now? That's what I don't get. Or is it just doing it permanently? It might just be different in the tutorial. You might have to keep doing that every turn. So moving him didn't take up a star. So the only thing I could do now is look at the tree a little bit. You could do farming is 6. Like, let's say I just save my stars. Or wait, what is it even saying? It says I need 2, but how do you do it? Hunting. This produces 1 population, must be on a tile with a wild animal. Where is it? Fishing, whaling, aquatism, strategy, diplomacy, farming. Where is hunting? Oh, here. But now it says 5. Why does it say 2 there? Oh, maybe just the act of harvesting it. You don't have enough stars to buy this. Have next turn to get more stars. Okay, fine. It seems like so far we've been getting 3, but we may as well do this anyway. And then you can have him move too, except you can't. You have to first make him and then have him move. Move your unit to a village and capture it. It's going to take a long time to get there, though. Actually, I think it meant for me to go here. I'm trying to go like outside of the thing just to reveal the fog of war with that guy. You go here. You just keep making another. So like this is sort of a bad strategy because you're wasting all your stars on this, so you'll never have enough to do hunting or anything else. I don't really get what... Or maybe you have to move one of these guys to it to be able to do that. 27 turns left. Let's try to see that. Yeah, try to hunt him. You're right there. You shouldn't need any special thing. I don't get that. let's say we do that now, and then just go try to make our way to the village, which is taking a while. Try to pick up some fruit, which you're not actually doing this way. So I don't get what happened. It showed that at the beginning, this resource is out. So, oh, you have to keep expanding the thing, or I don't know how you would even get it then. Game stats. I just want to see how the timer would factor in to, okay, here we go. Now we should be able to capture the village, which how do you do that? The city is being captured, okay, just by going on it. So let's send these two out to explore. Produces 1 population, must be on a tile with a wild animal. I don't see what that does for you. Just you can have more. The city cannot support any more units. I guess that's why. But how could it be if I just added a population? Produces 1 more population. I mean, of all the games you could mention as far as being complicated, it almost seems like a subtle dig. Like, it's not saying it isn't, but... Okay, what is this? Hunting. You can't make any more units, apparently. So how do you even tell that, though? It's just telling you that as a raw outcome, but it's not saying the exact number. Like, you can have such and such many. This will create another... I don't get it, because I made the 1 population after I made this guy already. So how could I have been at the cap at that point? So we captured the city, I guess. Boot camp completed. You have now mastered the basic skills. Oh, let me explore the rest of the map. There's so much more to discover. Finish the game by getting the highest possible score before time runs out. I just want to see how the combat would work too. Between produces 2 population, must be on a tile with a crop. So all these things are doing are just giving you population, and so that allows you to just make more units. I don't really see what other purpose a lot of this serves. Can't move it right away. You can't attack right away, or these ones can. They could move and attack in the same thing. Let's see if there's some sort of AI unit that we get to go up against. Needs like one of those job done. Okay, so now you can take this because you took over the thing. It's hard to know whether to prioritize doing the tech tree thing or not. Like, my strategy might just be Zerg, so you're not even wanting the game to last long enough to get to that point. But since it is going to be 30 turns anyway, you know, you never know. Can't make another one here. You can harvest this first. And so now you've run out of stuff that's within the range of that. Lloyd level up, upgrade to level 3. Its production is increased by +1. You can also get additional reward, resources, or city wall. Okay. No resources left. It always makes it seem like there's still something you can do that you might be forgetting about. Like even this. So we have a 2-pronged assault here. It seems like a waste not using those stars, but actually you do get to keep them from turn to turn. I just realized. Okay, so that you've hit a dead end with the water. Like here, you could have been the same thing, obviously because of the fog of war thing. I wonder how much the maps are really going to vary that way. We can't get any more, and there's really no way to get any more except for this. You don't have to worry about really sending the units out to do stuff. It's just more like low list, level up. As upgraded level 2, production increased by 1. You also get to pick additional reward, workshop, or explore. What does that even mean? That would be my whole identity. I would love to do that, but I'd be kind of derping around and wasting time that I should be using to do something else. AI Mo. Their leader, Liffity, salutes you with friendly, but pays no... Wait, why does the text seem so... Their leader salutes you friendly, but pays no attention to your tiny realm. Discovery of this curious tribe gives you some trade boost of 5 stars. Why are we so tiny when we have 2 outposts compared to theirs? This is the enemy, but it doesn't have to be. Let's just see how that combat thing works, though. I think we've moved pretty much everybody. Yeah, you just have to remember to keep using your stars, otherwise this becomes a waste. How do I target the city with him on there? City level 3 cannot support any more units. But yeah, we could take over these villages too. They have these archers coming out, but he was friendly with us, so we don't have to do that. Some of the text does seem like it's written sort of improper grammar and stuff. I don't know. For such a high lauded game, used as an example of complexity and strategy games. Now this you won't be able to go past anyway, so that was kind of a stupid move unless there's some climbing thing that we could research. That I could have actually moved more. Or yeah, based on the terrain, you'll be able to move more or less, I guess, right? Like the woods, you probably have to wait. If I lose to an AI, I should have to delete my account and not be able to play. Like, yeah, why can you move 2 there but not anywhere else? The Explorer just helps you fill out the map. Let's actually try this combat. 5-5. So how much do you have then total? This is the enemy. But it doesn't even show you like a proper health bar. 5-5. You try to gang up on him, or you can attack even from sideways. You got a new task: kill 10 enemies. And we'll come here. After they offer to trade with us, we have to be so barbaric. Okay, this is good. Keep going. Just kind of want to fill out the map 100%, or I'll end up losing games because of that. Somehow, like I'll do it just for the visuals of it, or just for exploration, and then I'll mess it up and die. Completionist Fog of War challenge. You have to not only win every game, but you have to. Now I should be doing stuff in the tech tree just for the sake of it. Forestry, archery, like since we're so combat focused, the best thing should just be enable the following archer defense bonus. Discovered a new talent of archery, so now you would have to make the unit separately, which we do have plenty of stars to use. Okay. Waiting for them to play. I mean, how many units could they possibly have? But then they'll keep making them the same way I am. Or now these ones are going to be stronger. 4, 5. I mean, you're fighting an archer in melee range and losing somehow. Oh, I keep forgetting that that's just a dead end. Or again, you would have to have some other research to make it worthwhile. So would that mean this can make an archer too? I guess, but cannot support more units. You'd have to take over some of these other villages, I guess. I'm just kind of sending in my people to die because I'm underestimating how strong they actually are. Villagers agree to join your emerging empire. Yeah, but those guys were mocking it. That's the whole reason why we're attacking. If he was nice and, you know, offering trade propositions, but he just didn't pay us much mind. Oh, come on. How do you do it? No actions left, but what about the city? Cannot support any more units. That would be hard to navigate on phone because, you know, you'd be somehow. You see, like I missed that. It just seems so innocuous that I didn't really pay it any attention. 16 turns left. This guy's on a mount, but that didn't seem to help him very much. I don't know whether these are their villages under their control. I guess not, because once they are, they start to have names and stuff like that. This is the enemy. You should be able to make more stuff from here then. Make an archer, 10, 2 attack, 1 defense, 1 movement, 2 range is the only bonus there. But then they won't be able to attack on the spot, I guess. We were sort of encouraged to do that by them because that's all they had was seemingly as archers. The whole left side of the map, I assume there's not going to be much there. Villagers agree to join. Harvest fruit. I mean, I have so many stars. This is where you got to start spamming different things. Explorer, sure, you can fill out the rest of the thing. Damn it, it's still not going to do as much as I want, though. This is just to bolster your population. You can fish. There's obviously some optimal way to just do stuff in a certain order, but I'm almost going to be more combat focused somehow. Hit that. Or how is that 2 units away, though? That feels like 1... I don't know. That feels like way more. So how would we exactly take this over anyway? You just have to stand on it, I guess? And do it the same way as, like, you're doing those little villages. So all this is doing is increasing population, and we may as well just burn all our stars. Or we just keep abusing the Explorer. Yeah, they don't seem all that intimidating for how dismissive they were of us. Although they got these guys on mounts now, and I'm not going to be able to keep up with that. Although we did take care of them pretty. You should be able to move and then still do it. But then how are you able to hit me back still? Rider. That's weird. Hunting, do it. We should just make a whole bunch of more units. Like the blue marks move, can't attack anything. How long must these matches really take? Or even that I was able to hit him from there. Or I still can. So we gotta somehow research more stronger units here so we can actually do something else with 35 goddamn stars. Whaling, sailing, strategy, riding. Does that mean they just automatically do it, or would you have to do another mathematics, trade, chivalry? Must research free spirit, burn forest, knight. Free spirit we can do. That would be pretty exciting at least. Destroy, windmill, farming. What other units are there? Is that really all there is? Like the knight's gonna be the best one? But of course you know from chess the knight is always my favorite thing. So how did he go back like that? They're able to move after they've already attacked, I guess. That's no good. So let's try to make a whole bunch of riders or knights or something else of value. But you should be able to do it basically any of these. I don't see why it would matter. Only cost 3 too. Does that mean you can only make 1 at each one? Or build a road to connect the city to your capital? I don't know how to do that. Or that's something you'd have to do in the tech tree too. Here, let's at least make 1 at each thing. Temple, farm. Sometimes the prompts sort of overlap with each other, which you could think would be annoying on phone. Like, oh, you're trying to target him, but not the thing, or vice versa. You got to just kind of double click it. So you go in, you could attack, and then you could still move away afterwards. It's very Fire Emblem-esque. You can just shoot over the whole goddamn mountain. Go in there. But yeah, I was going to say, like, even how could that be all the units that you're going to have? But that's just for this faction, I guess. So certain ones will have... I wonder if there's, like, fantasy stuff in here, too. Like, somebody will have a magic capability or something. Let's do this. Okay, come on. Just take over their big capital city. It's not a big deal. Like, what should you have to do this, anyway? You can attack at the sideways angle. We will be ready to capture next turn. So that's all you have to do. Is just, like, get within the vicinity of... Get on top of it the same way you would with the tiny village. But does that mean they just lose on the spot? Or you'd have to take over, like, every single one of their little villages and stuff? 10 turns left. Go ahead. Take over their capital. Great news, you've captured the capital, all trade, something, something. Okay, go over to here, take care of this guy. Shouldn't be splitting our damage like that. And I should have, oh yeah, move this guy away, make room for the archer. It doesn't that seem like it's way too far away? Supposedly it's only 2 units at that point, but okay, let's make a whole bunch of burn the forest. Regular Sylvanas role player. Okay, this costs 8, 10 health, 3 attack, 1 defense, 3 movement, 1 range. It doesn't seem like you can ever make multiple on the same turn at the same place. Let's just see how this works. So we basically tried out every single unit that they might ever have. I don't know what you're going to get that's going to make it better later on. They should just be totally outclassed now. Let's take over this city. 9 turns left. Like, you would win anyway just based on a score proposition, I guess, but pillar was completed. You can now construct the Gate of Power. This epic monument will bring wealth and glory to the nearest city. This is already taken over. How do we get to that one? Oh, it's just because he's blocking it on there. Or we should send somebody just to explore the rest of the map, just for the 100% completion as part of it. We might just do the campaign of this. First playthrough, permadeath. If I lose one match, I have to, you know, it's over. Okay, just finish these clowns off. Why can't he do that? Why are they so tanky? These are just like the regular rank and file units anyway. Yeah, you got to capture these villages a little bit better along the way. You shouldn't just leave them. But I almost like a Zerg type of playstyle in this because the map is so small and it almost seems like it would be pretty fitting somehow. Okay, why is this guy so hard to kill? Ready for capture next turn, so just stay where you are. And we'll bring the knight out, keep some of those back for defensive purposes, not that you really need it. Or how would we ever explore that? Now we'll have to explore fishing and stuff just to be able to do that. I just want my first map to be 100% fishing, sailing here. Sailing, navigation. So many of the time I'm not even using my stars here. Or yeah, what if he was to die there then? Would it have canceled the capture? They don't even have anything left besides that. Let's do... I don't know. Yeah, like that seems unrealistically... Maybe the squares aren't always perfectly clear, like what... How do you even get there? You'd have to get there from like behind. Whatever, we'll do sailing just to explore this one. That means you can't move into the fog of war either, right? You just have to brush up against it a bit at a time. Let's see. Port, gate of power, fishing. I assume you'd have to do that to produce a 2 population. Port creates trade routes through the ocean, water, any port within 5 radius. Units that move there will turn into boats that can move on water. Resources, I haven't really tried the city wall thing yet. They have one little dinky town left. I assume if we destroyed that, it might just be over. So I'm deliberately sparing them just to be able to, I guess, drag it out just so I can explore. This makes it kind of a little bit annoying. You need like 2 right next to each other for that to happen. Let's try to 100% the map and 100% clear them out by the time it's the last day. Or the last turn, I mean. Doesn't really seem like you can get there very well. The best way would be through that. The rest of it you'd have to like climb over the mountains, or I won't even still be able to do it. You'd have to get like an explorer guy, which I forget now how you can do. It let me do it like once. Yeah, chivalry involves burning stuff down. And that makes perfect sense. That's a chivalrous thing to do. Or maybe I could have gone from here anyway. Or you could start just moving on the water, which is what I was trying to do there. Oh man, I'm gonna fail that now. Somehow we'll try to send him from there. That should be part of the condition. Like if I'm not able to clear out the whole map. Will he actually be able to go through there? Why does it seem like he's just completely stuck? This town seems like untouchable. You'd have to go through the water that way. To move this dude around. It's just not gonna happen because it's too... And I'm even saying the maps are small. It takes too long to try to go through that. Ruin. Move a unit here to examine these ancient ruins. 2 turns left. There's really not much you can do. Damn it. We were so close to that as well. Burn a forest. Turn a forest into a field with crop. I'm not sure if burning it would be the most efficient way to do that, but... Take care of this, or at least we should have taken... Wait, why can you attack twice now? Like, you can still move after, but I wasn't expecting that. The only thing we would have failed to do then, I guess, is just... Or no, will we even still have time to do this? I guess not. Fuck. So we spare them their last town, and we... Damn. Like, maybe we could kill him and then still go on to the town after. Whatever. We failed to do the fog of war all the way. It does take a super long time, just like... We have to do, like, one little bit at a time. Or like we'll be in prime position to capture it, or I guess not. Why can't I move then? It's not like I moved that far. Some of this terrain maybe takes up more movement, basically. Now we'll never know what was on the other side of those. Gate of power. Okay, whatever. 3 stars. That was just a tutorial. Okay, perfection. Show your skills on the global high score in the classic 30 turns game. Play until there's only 1 tribe left with no time limit. Creative. This could be the new skull emoji that everybody loves so much. Set up your own game and play it however you like. I almost just want to try. Like, I'll get my ass beat in multiplayer, but we could do it like where every tribe gets 1. The first thing you need is to connect with some humans who play Polytopia, tap friends, or start a game with a random opponent. I wonder how dead this game is going to be. New game tournaments. You would think the free publicity he gave it, I don't know when that was, but that would have helped the game a lot on its own. it wasn't free either. Or there's sometimes some weird duality with that. Like it'll be free on phone and then it'll have like microtransactions, but then if you play it on PC, it won't be. There was some other game like that that I was just playing where I had to buy it. Okay, let's just try it. Live game 24 hours. Game mode Glory Might. Glory game 2 players live game. I don't know what the difference is. Any 2 should be fine, although it could be cool to do it other, bigger scale. Advanced setting, map type doesn't matter, map size doesn't matter. I just don't know about the faction. Like, how do you choose that? Luhian tribes, 196 lakes, might live. Join this game or decline the invitation. Okay. Oh, here we go. So we'll give each one like 1 life. Whatever, I'll figure it out as I go. Waiting for the Mastodon to play. You've been chosen to rule the tribe, explore the world, expand the tribe, but watch out for other tribes. Capture all capitals to win. So the first thing you want to do is like gather some fruit or something, which I can't even seem to do, or I have to wait for them. The thing is, it could take a tediously long amount of time in these moves because you saw how much I was derping around. I don't know how much they restrict that. 0 seconds. I want to just go all combat and just zerg him down. I don't care about anything else. Because most of the stuff just gives you resources anyway. Not that that's like normally my style of play anyway, but there's no fruit seemingly to harvest unless you consider that part of the mountain. I don't know what that is. The yellow. Mountain metal. The fruit is actually outside of our little empire zone, so I don't even get how that works. How do we expand it in this sense? I know if you capture like a village, right, that'll work, but that has nothing to do with this. This is outside of your empire. He's just going to be AFK the whole time, or it'll give him like 10 minutes to do stuff. Or no, it says it there maybe. Time left. This is the time you have left to make your move. Time will be transferred to the next move. To another player when the time runs out. If you make no actions during your turn and run out of time, you will get a skip strike. The background color indicates your number of strikes. Gonna be roping in Polytopia, like how I've been roping in PvZ. Okay. You ran out of time. Turn was transferred to another player. So let's just move around a bit and figure out, make another warrior. I don't really know how this class works, I guess, as much. Wait, why is it a strike, though, for me, though? He's the one who took so long. Game passed on. He's the one who took an hour, and it's making me panic with that little red stuff. So I don't understand what I can really gather here. I guess I'll just explore. Yeah, that's kind of a fun way to do it. So if I lose this, I can't play as these guys again. I always find a way to make a format out of everything. Now we can decide, like, if there's something I want to do in the tech trees. Free spirit chivalry. Nothing else really seems to count as far as combat. Whaling, aquatism. Like, it's not necessarily a combat-focused game. It's just, somehow, it's just the simplest way to get into it and catch people off guard. Your turn. Ran out of time, so he's probably not even playing. Just keep making more of these. Or I don't know what I can do. You'd have to take over the next territory. Okay, forget it. Why does it keep doing that? You'd have to review the mining capability. Or like even harvesting, you'd have to do this to be able to pick up the fruit. Tech will enable the following. But again, most of it's outside of my domain, so I don't even get it. Maybe this tribe just has more to do with the mountain, so you should prioritize mining instead. That would still give you population, I guess, because that's what everything seems to do. So we'll go take over this village, and then I'll consider... I kind of just want to ignore everything else, but you have to keep increasing your population. Otherwise, you are going to get in trouble. So mining is going to be a problem. You already start off with climbing, so that's just the nature of your people. You're like a mountain people. He was kicked, so do I just auto-win? There you go, win streak at 1. And you get like some kind of rating for it. A game has finished. So we can continue with that tribe, I guess. Going in completely blind definitely didn't hurt me any. 256 continents. Wait, what? Xin-xi. Okay. These are other people, right? Game not found. Okay. So now we start off a little bit off from the edge of the map. You've been chosen to rule the tribe. First to reach 10,000 points wins. Okay. So it's their turn. Like, why is it going to be like that where everybody just AFKs out for some inexplicable reason? Like, why even bother playing that? It's not a dead game like what I thought it might be. Just like even when I go to stream it on Twitch, nobody else is streaming it or playing it because clearly that's how you should measure the health of a game. So you should almost just do mining first. Just go there, fine. Make another unit. It seems like it's holding their time somehow against me, or I'm just panicking when it does that. So we want to capture the base, and I definitely have to do some research, but I won't do it until... I should have gone there instead. I won't do it until I can't make any more. So the tech tree, let's just do mining. I can't do it. Fuck. Game passed on. Yeah, we'll go into there, take that over. It'll expand what resources we can pick up. And then we just need a way to either pick up fruit or... This isn't like the fruit type of tribe, I guess. I was just expecting that's always the way to do it. Like, what would getting this metal do for you? It's not like you're building stuff with metal. That's not how this game works. Everything just seems to give you population. So somehow the act of harvesting metal from a mountain is going to increase your livelihood of how many units you can have. Your turn. So let's go here. And then let's go... Mining and smithery. You might be able to make better weapons and stuff, or how do you do it then? Okay, dude. I guess I can't do anything else. At least now we'll take over this village. I assume this guy's actually playing, too. How quickly could you really, even if your only goal is to get to him as soon as possible, like Zerg style, how quickly could you really do it anyway? I guess you wouldn't know exactly where he is. That's the whole beauty of it. He could be a lot closer than you might think. This guy can kind of just keep moving out. You don't need him on there. You meet the leader, bows and off your mighty civilization, discovery of this curious tribe. I'm not gonna play nice with him though. Explorer, fine. Yeah, we'll see where his base is and stuff. And then we have the ability to make more, but I don't have enough stars for the tech tree, so I'm just gonna go full aggro right now. Like, what else would be the point? I guess you could be competing for resources and just not fight each other, but it does kind of characterize me the wrong way. Like, I normally wouldn't be the type to go for combat, but it just seems so tempting here. This is pretty good. Like, I can't... Like, obviously, there are way more complex games out there, but it's very weird that you would choose this for the comparison. Yeah, try Hearts of Iron 4. Your brain will literally explode before you can even get past the tutorial. And I never really did, because what did I even do after that? I just kind of gave up. I'll be like, I'll go play the first one or something, play them in order, because they would expect you to be like a god gamer at that point in the genre. Okay, so go here and fight the guy. And then kind of give him some backup support. We took over the town. We definitely have to make way more warriors. I'm not going to settle for this. And then we can make one here, please, please. Yes. And then tech tree, I don't have enough stuff, so I'll just leave it. So what would be the next thing I want to do? And it's so fast-paced. I guess that's the idea, the whole philosophy behind it. But now I want to focus on this. Riding, free spirit, chivalry. Just to have stronger units, right? Like a... Oh, I guess... The units are basically the same. I thought you'd have like a samurai or something here that's a little bit unique to the tribe, right? They're all just going to be knights anyway. Yeah, I don't get why you wouldn't fight each other, because... How did he get this far anyway? He must be really close. Your turn. Go here, whack this guy. Kill 10 enemies to get the gate of power. Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't really play like that anyway. So kind of fan out a bit. And then use my stars still on this. If I have any excess after doing this, then those will work towards it. Or I have 3, which I can't use, so I could be making a mistake. But everything there seems so expensive anyway. Mining. I'm going to have to do that for, like, population considerations in the future. Ruled by 2 cities. Okay. He's already got those things out there. There must be some really optimal strategy that I'm missing out on then. How the hell did he get there that fast? Or he must have very few units then, because every time I'm making so many. Riding is 6, so I should just do that this turn. But then again, I need to do stuff like this for the stars. Or I have to take over the next village, I guess. See how he did that so strategically, though? He came out of the fog of war. He went into the thing. And then... I feel like I have to do this, but it almost doesn't make sense either. Explore some more on that side of the map, sure. And just make me, Okay, he doesn't have two... How does he have even that many, though, right now? I don't get it. Make another warrior. We made a little bit more population, but what I haven't done is... Like, his combat is just too strong already. I'm the one who was saying I'm going to be combat focused. How the hell did he do it that quickly? We have all these dinky little knights that aren't going to hold up. So that's his health values is 5. We weren't able to hit him back there. He's making himself a sitting duck, though. Why would he just stand in front of my units like that? Yeah, I have to make some of my own little riders here, which I don't even have that unlocked. I think I'm just going to get destroyed right now. I don't have enough stuff to keep up with this. What could he have done so efficiently? You have to, like, gang up on one, but we also don't move far enough, so... That's what I get for playing so aggressively, I guess. You have to build, like, a city wall and, like, really just... build a road to connect this. I haven't messed around with the road stuff. I was even saying, oh, I'm going into combat type stuff, but... I guess these guys aren't that expensive, so you just have to get that rider thing very early. You definitely want to capture these 2 villages, but you won't really be able to. Here, I'll just try to chip away at them as best I can, though. Go here. Take care of this clown. Try to fan out as much as I can, and then, yeah, I only have 5 of this, so I guess I'll just keep making more of these guys. Now the problem is I'm going to run out of population stuff too, and I'm not upgrading my stupid tree thing, so that's what's going to hurt me a lot. And I'm not also taking over these villages, but it will be kind of hard to do. Like, I have more units, but he has much stronger ones. Fuck. Obviously, when you get killed, you don't hit back in the same breath. Unlike what we just play in PvZ Heroes, like they'll kill you, you'll be at 0 health, but you still get to hit them back. 6 health, 4 health. It's not like these things are costing him as much as you might think either. Right? I think they only cost 3 versus 2, so he's just going to keep making more. Doesn't look too good, though. I was even trying to play aggressively. But look how close we started, too. You won't be able to take out this guy, take care of him. I don't know. This doesn't look too promising. I could keep just building these units in futility. I'm going to actually do the rider thing. It'll be worth it, I think, in the long run. So even that turn, we're going to lose out, but I'm not really doing enough besides that. Like, how am I supposed to find time to get the metal and increase my population if he's got so much shit going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, this might be his whole army, but look at this low-cost, cheap unit Zerg strategy that has some merit to it, but he's going to take over even that, which is a big mistake that I allowed that. But then again, we're so slow that we couldn't get to him even if I wanted to. Obviously, he was low on health, so I would have targeted him anyway. It's very hard at the beginning because you're so strapped for resources. Like, we've got 4 guys coming on this one, so there's no way you should be able to take that over. And wait a second, how did he even get over here? Can you, like, hop over the little diagonal there? Because it's all surrounded by water. So even though we are so close to each other, like, you really think this is a good idea? You're surrounded by 4 guys. This is a suicide mission, and you have... Oh, you can hop over that. But yeah, it might have been, like, where you have to walk all the way around until you get sailing capabilities, if you couldn't just jump over the side of the thing there. You're actually in a reasonable spot here. 5-5, and we can finish you off. We won't be able to get to you there. That was kind of a big mistake to allow that. Finish this dude off. Attack you. Can I attack you there as well? I can't. We'll be ready to capture village next turn. Let's go ahead and make some riders and match him 1 for 1 here. But again, the stars just aren't adequate. I'll even make a wait, I can't. Now I have to start doing something stupid with respect to the whatever, getting more population. That's all that any of the resources seem to be for. So we'll take over this one. He'll take over that one. You won't be able to kill this guy, obviously, so quickly. But unless he has more units sneaking around there, I'm sure I could take care of that too. Yeah, you took out 2 of mine. Leaving them at 5 health is kind of annoying, which is why being able to ride away with the knight is so useful there too. Like, you hit them, then you go out of their range if it's just a foot soldier, so they'll never be able to catch up to you and finish you off. This position looks still pretty good, but it's hard to say. I'll lose on points or something anyway, but the real goal is to, yeah, like, how's he doing that? 4 cities. This one I kind of just let him have right in front of me, but there wasn't much I could do about it. Your turn, go here. Capture this. Finish this guy off. Try to push through there. So now my population thing is becoming a bit of an issue. Train another rider. Train another rider. I still don't know how you can actually see exactly how many of those you can do. But again, I'm just spamming riders and I'm not able to do much of anything else. So he's kind of surrounded here. He won't be able to kill that, or he could put them both into there. So attack with this first, then this, so that one doesn't die, I guess. And why did that take 6, though? I thought everything's doing in basically increments of 5. Oh, that's still my turn. Still pretty tight. Turn 11, like he's winning in terms of the score, but that's not even how I'm trying to play. I'm trying to more just, you know, win, you know, take over his base and stuff, but it's gonna be very tight. Like, how do you find the time? That's the whole point of the strategy, is like, how do you find the time to get the mine? How do you find the time to upgrade your tech tree? Like, you don't have enough resources yet to do it, but you're gonna get destroyed in the early game otherwise. He's just rolling over me. I could finish this guy off, hopefully, with him. Yeah, he's just got way too much shit going on. Keeping the low health stuff away from me. But you can definitely finish this guy off. Very worth it. And then still go a little bit further away. And I'm just trying to get in whatever little damage I can, but... Field fruit. Let's just keep making 2 riders every turn. That'll clearly carry me, even though it's just completely pointless. Like, he's just got way more shit going on. What else do I have? I always have this 1 star left. You have to take over, like, more of these villages sooner somehow, just to have more resources available. Guy's clearly an expert on the game who's played every day since it came out or something, but doing some meta optimal strats. It didn't seem that bad at the beginning, but now he's just kind of running away with it. I don't see how I can match him. Like, I need another... I don't know. I have to upgrade to the knight, maybe. The 1 turn I should just let him have it. If I can get a good combat turn where I kill a bunch of his stuff, I'll upgrade to knights and then start making those every turn. So could he deal with 2 or 3 knights every single turn? Probably pretty easily. He's still dealing with just riders. Let's say I skip this turn and don't do anything, but then I have to do free spirit first. Too expensive. You'd have to skip 2 turns to be able to do it. Or you have to put away like a little bit of your resource every turn. Turn 12. 3, 6. Like, it's not always the most favorable trade that way. I don't know what I'm even doing. Why did that guy have so much health anyway? Or I should have hit him. Okay, now I'm playing it very suboptimally. Now we can go so far away that he won't be able to hit that. So that's how I have to use them. Make a rider, but I can't. I have 7, so I have to do something other stupid, like mine something. 2 population. Now we don't really need that. I don't know what that even does. Just so you get 1 more resource, maybe. There should be like that little peon thing that shows you your units, like, if they haven't done something. The point is, I wasn't even trying to win in terms of points for whatever that's worth. I was trying to win just outright, which it doesn't force you to do that. Under siege, capturing will be complete next turn, but he chooses to move away from it. Let's do it with the different one. You don't stop them. So, trying to think, like, what did he do that would have been so different? I guess at the beginning, don't build any units, but then he still got to me first. Don't build any units, just try to, I don't know, focus on the tech tree maybe a little bit earlier and then start to build, because they're not going to attack you too aggressively at the start. But yeah, we started like very shockingly close to each other, right? He could have been over there or something else, which you would think would have even helped me considering how aggro I was trying to play it, but I just can't do anything. At least we won at least one game with them, but that was just because that guy disconnected. So it wasn't like complete domination, but he was obviously better from the beginning. I'm trying to think what exactly he did differently. Like you got to capture more of these earlier, and just feels like I'm always just strapped for the stars. Let's like gang up on this guy. 5, 1. You can just try to keep making these, but it's not going to do anything. Or I should have tried to obviously kill this, but I'm stupid. Letting him take over that was bad, but I couldn't really do anything. So the next time I'll try to build like a better unit earlier. I'll just ignore some of the first turns or something. I don't know. Because it costs so much to do stuff like this that it makes it seem pointless. Organization to extract this resource. And you could say, oh, you should have done the fruit instead of the mine, but they cost like pretty much the same thing, don't they? Organization set. Like, why are these things so expensive at the beginning? Why did it feel like in the tutorial it only costs like 3 or something to do that? We took over there, so it's obviously going to be over now. I can't imagine what I could do. And again, he's going to win on the stupid point system more than anything. 4 cities, 3 cities. Or what does it say? Tasks. Metropolis, create a level 5 city. Killer, kill 10 enemies. Yeah, it almost had some pretension that you could play it peacefully. Recover. How does that work? You cannot perform this action right now. It'll probably cost way too many stars, though. Yeah, you can kind of slow pace some of the knights in a very fun way. Like, just you hit somebody and then you get away and they can't reach you. Or no, I should have took over this. This is where I'm stupid. Instead of fanning. But how was I supposed to know where this guy was going to be either? You can hit this and then you can get away and hope that he can't hit you. Go as far as possible. Just try to play a little bit defensively. We'll leave him where he is. Then you can't make units when they're on there anyway. Now, if you try to do that, he won't be able to take over the base either that quickly. But no, I should have took over this a lot sooner. I didn't even notice it. We have like only 4 riders left. We only have 3 of that left. There's nothing I can do with a mere 3 stars either. Fuck. Let's have a million of these randomly generated names too, or it's all tied to the tribe. Yeah, don't play so aggressively at the beginning then, and just try to, you know, how many could I have had then? I could have had this one and this one. So if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, then we could fight out in the middle for these, and that would have given me at least a little more to work with. This is the enemy, but yeah, I really find it bizarre how you're supposed to find time to do all this. All the mining and shit. You don't even get to see what is in his background. That's how aggro just backfires on you. Kill this guy. And try to take over this town maybe next time. Got a couple knights here. I'm just sort of trying to play a bit more defensively. He just has way too many units, though. Make another rider. Make another rider. Like, we can certainly drag it out, but this is why you win by default on the point system anyway. Turn complete. 16. Like, 30 turns almost feels like too much in a case like this, but he would just have to take over my base. Even when you take over their capital, you don't automatically win, right? You'd have to take over every single one that we saw. Capturing what we completed next turn. Yeah, see, he didn't even steal that from me. I was just too stupid to prioritize it. Like, obviously, whatever's over the water should be hit. So he would have had these 2 and maybe 1 back there. you always have to make sure you dominate your area. It just felt like it happened so fast that I didn't have the chance, but I guess I must have. Let's see how long these things can hold out. You could certainly kill this guy. You now construct a gate of power. This epic monument will bring wealth and glory to the nearest city. So how does that exactly work? Recover? How does recover even work? Or you can just use your turn to... Oh, we could be really annoying with it, I guess, that way. Or why can't I hit that? We'd capture that. Yeah, I just kind of did the early game totally the wrong way, obviously. But I still might not lose in the conventional way, because we can really drag this out. He just has way too much stuff out there. You won't be able to capture these very easily. Well, I'm not going to have enough riders to really do anything, though. Or like if you have 0 units left, period, then you might lose by that token. But like, so much of the tech tree is not combat-based. I guess archery could have been worthwhile too, but... that it makes you wonder, like, what it... The point of the game is not to really play it like this, but this is what it devolves into. And even I'm not above that. Like, just go for combat first and then worry about the resources later. Recover, capture. Yes, he doesn't just have more possibilities in chess already, because look at the placement of the units. There's way more than 8 squares and way more than 8 units, so therefore, you know, how can you even argue in that? Okay, I think now you sort of just resign, but I don't think I can really do anything anyway. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. Not even trying to BM, but let's just let him do it properly, because I don't have enough units to do this. Or this will still keep you alive, because you take over this one city. Not much of an empire left for me. I guess if I didn't do... like, we would have died right here, because we lost every city. But we save it by clutching this one. Or now we'll lose it anyway. Capturing what we completed next turn. Your capital has been captured. All trade connections are canceled until you regain control. Or I guess what a lot of these mechanics make sense for is if you play in a game with like 9 people, you can trade with some, you can leave the game as a spectator. Yeah, now we can't play as that group anymore, let's say. So that was good. I mean, he played well. Just, what do you call it? If you're playing in a game with 9 people, you don't have to go straight for combat. See, in that kind of game, it seems like, why wouldn't you just do it? Because you have nothing else to lose. If you beat them combat-wise, all the resources are yours and you're going to win anyway. But if it's like 9 people, you have to kind of make a decision. Like, okay, I'll make a truce with this guy. I'll play, see who won. I mean, we just saw who won. What do you mean? It's rubbing it in my face. What a surprise. This even uses the ELO system the same way. That's pretty satisfying. Sub 1000 ELO here too. What do you call it? Basically, Chaff Ipayan archers, but he even has the same icon as what I was using. What was I gonna say? Yeah, we'll try it with some other tribe. Yeah. If there's more people, then you might be, you know, the first one to attack is the first one that everybody will gang up on, or there'll be some sort of unspoken alliance between some people. So, you know, you're just trading with people, you're just trying to get it off to the best start, and then eventually you'll fight people. It doesn't mean you take that as a foregone conclusion. So I do like the 1v1 style, so that there's no sense of like, whether you win or lose, it's all your fault or it's all your credit. They don't get to, you know, people don't get to say, oh, you got carried by somebody or whatever else. So we'll do Imperious. Obviously, that was the starting one. We should be the most familiar with that. It's from the tutorial. Why does it always bug out at the beginning there? The biggest priority here is you have to... Why do I always feel like I go second, too? I'm always playing as the black pieces. It's not fair. They have an objective advantage. Okay, so the highest priority here is just... try to... You should do the tech tree at the beginning, let's say. Like, let's do riding right now. Fuck it. Might not seem like a big deal, but that could make such a big difference in the long run. Give us so much more mobility, explore the fog of war. So now he could be all the way on the other side, which almost feels more appropriate, but sometimes, obviously, like last time we saw, that wasn't the case. So now we'll harvest the fruit to make more population. And then from there, we basically just have to decide what we can do with the tech trees. What we can't do is we can't miss any chances to get a village. Because that would be the only way he was able to ramp up his resources so crazy like that. I could just unluckily choose the wrong path. So that one you're going to have to do. And then this one I can't do. So I have to make another guy here. I just kind of like to send them all in different directions. I like this because it sort of removes some of the pretensions and like there are a lot of elements of these games that can be needlessly complicated, although some of them are good too. It's just this sort of still delivers the core point. Although it does feel like there could be a lot more depth to some of this. I don't know how far it really goes. Like maybe once you get there, it'll unlock something else. So we have to do that for sure. And then we have to... I still kind of want to go up this way though. Now we want to start doing those, but I won't be able to ever do that. So it's problematic. Or let's do the stupid harvest here. Explorer or workshop? Production has increased +1. You can also choose an additional reward. That's kind of more important, I guess. As much as I like the explorer thing. Maybe that was my big mistake too. Right, it's not going to make any difference. Don't focus on things you can't control. Absolutist tendency. Whether you can see where their base is or not. Like, oh, his base is right here and he's about to attack me. Like, whether I know that or not, I'm not going to do anything any differently. Like, I just have to deal with it. Okay, that's very important. Let's try to push out this way as much as I can. We'll get another village there. We'll get the riders, which makes a transformative difference for sure. And there's not much else I can really do right now. How can it be so simple and so complicated at the same time? And I'm playing for ELO. If I fall below 1,000 ELO, I have to delete my account. We'll do it the same way. That means it takes itself very seriously, though, if it's using that system. It's a perfectly fair and balanced type of game, which obviously some of the random elements, like, oh, they could start with more resources or some favorable part of the map. I'm sure people make all kind of excuses like that, but Ruin, that could have something rare in it. I almost want to explore this part. Well, what if it's a dead end? That could be a major mistake. Now here I have to make a decision. I have 6, so I should do a tech tree thing. Hunting, archery. Like, what if I don't use... this is where I make mistakes. Right? Like, I like the idea of doing that, having the riders, but I'm never going to have enough of this to commit to anything. So we'll go ahead and get this village. Explore the ruins. You might get some rare artifact from here that carries you the whole game. I haven't seen anything too fantastical so far, whether it be magic or anything like that, but I almost would prefer it if it didn't have that. Same thing I said about New World. Like, they advertised it like, oh, it's going to be this little survival MMO with all this building houses and stuff. And then you go to play it and it's like, oh, there's witches and demons and stuff. By like level 5 or 10, it's like, even if they were going to add that stuff later on, like in an expansion, oh, I keep forgetting it's my turn. They didn't have to do it right there at the beginning. I don't like how it's so annoying with that red stuff every turn. Like, just give me a second. I don't get how it works because I've never taken too long, aside from there where I'm just derping around, but I'm going to run out of the population thing, first of all. We'll go here. See, now I just have to not worry about what he's doing, but he probably has 50 bases and a million things. Like, it's a very set in stone type of game, too, because everything is scripted, like, by turns. So what could I be doing that's so suboptimal anyway? Or, you know, I should have not done it that way. I should have done it the opposite. We'll send you maybe in this direction. We'll send you there. We'll try to keep going here, but we'll have to go like one block at a time. We have 6 or we have 5. That you can't do. That you can't do. So you have to keep munching up the fruit. Or we should do multiple. That one will be maxed out. Do the workshop thing again. So at some point we're going to get enough stars to actually be able to do something, surely. I want to do chivalry, basically, and just throng him with the knights. But again, in before he has like a million things already. Like, everybody's going to be a god at 1,000 ELO. Where have we seen that before? That's just a basic rider. It's not a big deal. But that just shows you he's made more progress throughout the map, maybe, which... Like, didn't I make them as soon as possible and start to move as far as possible, I guess, right away? I don't... The leader salutes you, pays no attention to your tiny realm. The discovery of the sprawling tribe gives you a one-time trade boost of 7 stars. We'll take over this. Yeah, and then we'll immediately attack his clown face. So now we'll go... What happened here? We get to look in here. You meet a nomadic tribe that settle in your capital. Resources definitely more important. Forget about... Yeah, see, the city wall you shouldn't be worried about because they shouldn't get to the point where they can attack your city anyway. We'll do this ruin as well. And then we just have to consider we have 20 stars, which is very important. So let's make both of these. And then... Let's see. Now's the time to do it, I guess. So we would need 13 for that. One of these turns, I'm just going to have to let it be. It'll be worth it in the long run because let's increase the population here. And all this outside. Like, how would you ever get these fruit? How would you expand it to the edge of the map that way? There's no other village or anything here. So that's weird. Oh yeah, I keep somehow thinking the turn's going to end automatically or something. Times second, what's he at? 2470. I'm sure he's doing better, but it's slow, you know, tortoise versus the hare. He's going to rush out like I did the last game, and then we'll be fine. The 7 bonus stars presumably applied to him too. Or there could be like AI in this map too, but this is obviously not. You could try to attack either one of these, but he'll just die. I want to push out as far as I can and actually see what's in each of these directions. This, you won't be able to go anywhere, but it was kind of worth it because we'll be able to get something from there. You have to get to a comfortable point where you have enough stars to do both. Like, you can make your units and you can... Like, how many cities does he have? Capitals owned 1 out of 2. We keep looking at the desert here. It's not super clear with the terrain, like how much it maybe slows you down or something. Like walking through the trees is slower than something else. Getting overly confident too. Brazen. Wait, why did we do so little? This is just a regular rider. Kind of a weird way of him going about it, but he's going to end up losing so much stuff as a result. Like, we should finish you off with this guy. These guys do like more damage, but they're not as whatever. Guy only has 2 health. We can hit you and then run away in this direction. We can hit you and maybe go in this direction instead. And then I don't know where this guy wants to go. There's nothing to really do over there. So the valuable resources. Okay, good. I'll start to go on this side. So now I have to decide. I have 21. I'll do this for sure. And then I'll start to spam the... I'll start to spam the knights, I guess, which I can't even do still. There's one, like, it's expensive, but it'll probably be worth it. I mean, there's nothing better than that, presumably. Like, what are the other things? I guess just like weaponsmithing or something. Enable the following forge. This is 2 population for each nearby mine. You can only build 1 forge per city. Must be built next to a mine. Swordsman, 15, 3. Like, presumably those are similar. Like, once you commit to one, you just have to deal with it. So it'll cost 8 every turn. But he made sort of a suicide mission just trying to attack me so flippantly. Right? That's the same mistake I made last time. Like, what good did that do him? He didn't kill anything, or maybe he killed, like, one thing. All right, keep exploring this direction. And so that's going to be hit that. Finish him off. Wait, why did I just teleport onto there? Is ready to capture next turn. That's good. We'll give it a little reinforcement there. We'll try to make another knight, which I can't do. So I'll send the knight, I guess, in this direction. This guy can come back at a very slow pace, so he's basically useless. We got to take over that particular thing. Now, which one should I prioritize? I don't know. Now we can always go back. Slow pace him a little bit. Are there any of these that I can still make, though? Somehow running out of population. Oh, yeah, this one I have sort of underutilized. And if I take over this, I'll be able to do a lot more from it. You can poke on this guy. Or wait, I can't. Maybe if you move to the end of your range, you can't attack. You'd have to send 2 at that, which he can clearly still do. We have a knight right here on the flank. Okay, dude. It just feels like you're always outclassed. I don't know. I'm obviously doing something wrong at the beginning. But maybe my elite knight unit... Like, I'm not even going to do anything else in the tech tree now. I'm just going to only make knights, and hopefully that'll be enough. But that's probably not a good idea. Like, what would complement this the best way? You could do, like, hunting and archery. Like, your capital is getting attacked, and you're like, oh, yeah, let me just learn how to hunt. Is this really the priority right now? The point system doesn't matter if you just take out their base, but it seems unlikely that you'd be able to do that. This is the enemy. Is this his capital, or is this just one of his random cities? Or we need like a healer unit, medic. I'm trying to think what would even help this. Like, we at least went to the end of one thing. I don't care about this. Like, what good is diplomacy going to do me now? Go ahead, take out this dude. And whatever, go back a little bit. Do this. It's for 12. That's really what I like to see, that high top end damage. Train a knight. This knight can try to get going in this direction. And then what can I do? Go capture this village, which is at the edge of the water. You should be able to skip across like that way, I guess, for what it's worth. Is there anything else I can make? I have 2 more. I don't even really want just a generic warrior, though. I guess I'll carry over and just save the thing. You're going to get to the point where you're both capped out as far as what you have, so... He's way above in points, so he must have the craziest army in the world, or maybe he's thrown them away too much. 6-2, he is going to kill the knight. Kind of hard to avoid that. I'm kind of one-shotting stuff with it. So as long as he doesn't have a constant supply of the riders, we'd be in good shape, because you can go in, take it out, and then still protect yourself. Now he has a guy with his shield. Yeah, this attacking point is not the best to be at. Even if I make like 1 or 2 knights every turn, but how many stars am I really getting anyway? I got like all the fruit and stuff I could. This is at least better than last time. Like, my style there was so aggressive that I just ended up getting destroyed too quickly. I have to like really play it safe with the knights. Like, I have to go hit this guy, come back. Like, don't try to push out too far maybe. I had almost taken over this, which would have been a big deal. But how many... It was showing me before. How many cities does he have? Maybe because of the fog of war, I can't really... Killer, 6 out of 10. Metropolis, create a level 5 city. So the only other things I want to focus on is just... Maybe I could do archery if I have some excess. Like, if I can't make any more things because of the population consideration. This is the enemy. Why does it just feel like they have so many resources all the time? Like, that's so good, but now you almost want to block for him. So hit this guy. I don't know. 8, 6, I can't move. 2, holy shit. Capture this. Let this guy come into the fray a little bit. Can't do anything there. Do 1 here. Like, I'll just keep doing the knights. This is at least my dream come true setup. I just don't have enough stuff always to do this. Maybe worth it to have a few of those, but I almost want to save the stars. Yeah, the only other thing I would care to do is just... Like, what is the point of all these other things? You have to get to a comfort zone that we're not letting happen here because of how aggressive both of us are playing. Right? How can I focus on fishing and all this kind of stuff? So we're going to get destroyed here, but you can almost use like body blocking capabilities here to just, I don't know. What is this now? Temple. Reduces 1 population. Instantly gives you 1 population worth 100 points of score. You ran out of time. Okay. Wait. What is he doing now? Or why didn't he attack? 6, 2... You hit a lot less on defense than on attack, I guess. Like, we can hit him and then run away, though. That's the thing. and then, or you could like pass your turn to recover, but it's not really worth it. Or that's why the diagonal attacks are so valuable. So I'm obviously gonna lose, but I don't get it. We should have had like the same amount of resources, the same amount of places captured. Like, how's he got this much? I do have a couple knights obviously laying in the back, but I can't even tell which is his like biggest capital. This is level 2 city, this is level 2. It must be somewhere further back still. He must be doing stuff in the technology tree. Like, what is even the defender? What would that be a part of? Trade, construction, Quadism, whaling, navigation, philosophy, diplomacy, cloak. Hide, creep, infiltrate, dash. Trying to be maybe too single-minded with how I'm doing this, but still. You seem to have an advantage, basically, over... You know, you have an advantage over the fact that... you can now construct the Gate of Power. Epic Monument will bring wealth and glory to the city. So what does that even mean, though? How do I do it? Gate of Power, do it. Fine. Can I do it for like each one too? Resources, sure. Reinforce you there a little bit. Go there. Can I make like an actual knight though? Still, every turn I'm expecting to have to do that. Made 2 of them. They are holding up pretty well. I'm just going to lose in terms of the points, even if I don't lose on the map. You can always catch up, so you shouldn't be too discouraged in the early game. This is kind of a good flank point because he has to, you know, it's hard for him to break through. So you're not going to obviously let me do that, although it might be, it depends like all what's behind him here. This guy can hit you your turn. He let me take it over. Oh shit, this is the big turning point of the game, actually. I'm surprised he let me have that. Let's go resign from the game. Oh shit, I actually won. I really wasn't thinking I was going to. See, the slow turtle wins the match. To never play too aggressively, or at least you have to know what you're doing. Finish game. Game is over. Tap to see the end. You first to reach 10,000 points. I mean, there was still some vague possibility he might be able to do that, but... Yeah, because we took over that... Wait, this isn't even it. This is the other one. It's still reminding me of my last... Wait, why is it showing me that again? Replays. Where does it show you like your whole past history? Alias, games played 3, ELO rating, game version. Press the avatar to give birth to a new wild creation. Oh, I like that one with the spice on his hat. Fuck. Yeah, but this is pretty awesome, actually. It lives up to the hype for whatever it was worth. You go from never hearing about it to hearing it in such a glowing way. I like how triggered people get by everything some people say. Like, who cares what Elon Musk says? But so many chess people got so mad. Like, where does it show the record? Just to show that I did indeed win that. Or, like, my overall statistics game played 1. How have I played 1 game? Personal data disabled. You just saw me play 2 and get my ass beat in 1. Or, like, by deleting it, did I somehow... Whatever. Clearly that counts as a win anyway. Shores of Dawn. That was as the Imperious guys. Although the units seem pretty much the same no matter what, so I don't really get that, but... Let's see. High score. I don't know what happens after you do that. The game is over. Tap to see the end. First to reach 10,000, you. This is you. Games played. Why am I a skull, though? You're not friends with this player. I don't get it. He resigned. Or no, this is not the same one. It just shows you that again, right? It doesn't mean... Okay, delete that. Show me the other one. It's gonna be the same one. I don't know how this works. Why is he... It makes it seem like you're farming Elo or losing Elo every time. Remove this game permanently, but then it stays there. I really don't get it. Whatever. Okay, let's do another one with the Imperious. I don't really care about all those other conditions. Let's see how long we can get the streak to go. We got somebody to actually resign. So we stayed the course by taking over that city eventually. So that was the right style of play. So start off, we pick up the fruit, we do the upgrades early, get to some end peak like the knight or something. You could try something else later, but I'll stick with that for at least these guys. We'll get the knight, and then once you get the knight, then you can start to just build units only and not worry about everything else. Perhaps you build like a couple units, but the priority at the beginning is just explore, capture the villages, do the fruit. I'm like, when was the scenario that you would do the fruit? If you can't make any more units and you're not ready to do the tech tree, you at least want a few of those things out there. Yeah, I'll do a whole series of this. Try to get to 2,000 elo in here. I'll do it before I do it in chess. Objectively more complicated than chess, which is true of almost every game in existence that is a real-time game, but yet people are so stupid. And even this is not real-time anyway, but... Waiting for other players to join. Why couldn't I just... Why would it even create that? It's not like I should be hosting it. Accept, Imperious, pick... Waiting for one player to accept the invitation. He's the... What, are we playing against people on phone? Maybe that's why I'm picking on them. Gives me too much of an advantage, or you can somehow hack it. Game mode might capture all capitals to win, which is what I'm trying to do anyway. What, so you're telling me that another mode would not let me win if I did that? Like, it might not be the priority, but you would think that'd be a win condition no matter what. Waiting for one player to accept the invitation. That's just what sort of trivializes that people focus on like one game and one game only the whole time. Clearly they're biased towards it. I'm always objective no matter what I do. Like, shogi is more complicated than chess, possibly, because you place the units down and all this kind of stuff. Where does it show even like my elo overall? Here, right? My elo is 10-15. Games played. I wish it would show you like the record of them a little better. Like 2 wins, 3 losses, whatever. Replays, this. The game is over. So it's overrode the one that I just did. Right, 999. Score limit. So I kind of ignore the whole score aspect just for the simple fact of trying to be able to... Why is it like bugging out so hard now? Just they see her on PC and oh no, that gives you an unfair advantage, even though it really has nothing to do with anything because your moves are pretty much set in stone. Like, you do an X number of interactions, so it doesn't matter. Like, it couldn't hurt, but... Waiting for one player to accept. But then why are you even in here if you're not going to accept? Like, I was somehow getting invitations before. It's going to be the same guy every time, and it's like a bot or something. Savannah and change. Yeah, I'll try to do the same thing. We build the knight up as quickly as possible. It would be more fun if there was more variety that way. Instead of knights, you can make wizards, and you can make... Or whatever. Like, there's a lot more... Like, I don't know how much more the tech tree really expands beyond that point. Like, what? I get to chivalry, and that's it? There's nothing beyond there? But sometimes less is more. That just look at chess, for example. Right? You can just play the same game over and over on the same board with the same pieces. Like... Capablanca even was saying the same thing, like, oh, let's make it 10 by 10 board with fairy pieces. Like, there's so many things you can do just arbitrarily. Oh no, it's the perfect game. Meanwhile, it was updated so many times. They added the queen, they added en passant, they added double pushing the pawn. Like, it's been updated even in the last, you know, many several hundred years, but still, like, who's to say it can't still evolve and this and that? This act as like a perfect game, but then on the other hand, it's been changed so many times. Maybe I'll restart my game. Yeah, it should be like some sort of internal challenge like that too. If I fall below 1,000 elo, I should have to delete my account or stop playing. But more to the point, I would basically just, you know, you get one try as each try, which is a pretty big deal because then I'm only going to get so many chances. I feel like something's bugging out. Why is it doing this? Waiting for a player to accept, but I'm not trying to do it with him, like just with anybody. What do you mean? Why is it always the same guy? No, I don't want to do that one. Like, what is this? 1547, games played 344. I'm just screwed then. I guess nobody else is playing. Or now my elo went too high, so I can't even do anything. It seemed like a relatively active game, but 196 lakes. Might, live, everybody seems to be playing the might thing. Like, it should just be matching me with anybody, right? Why does it have to be the same guy every time? Yeah, we didn't do too good with the samurai guys. You have to deal with mining and stuff. Here you're just kind of picking up fruit, and I guess I was more familiar with it because of the tutorial, clearly. I definitely do love the whole graphic style. Although sometimes it's hard to see the units and stuff. Stuff sort of blends in a little bit. Like even in the tutorial mode, I sometimes wasn't seeing the enemy units right away. They got this like natural camouflage. Like how we see the goblins in the grass in like WoW. Like they're not trying to do it for camouflage, but they happen to be green and they happen to be so short that the high brush actually covers them up. This is a little bit irritating. I don't know why we keep getting matched with this guy and this guy only. Invited. Like, he doesn't want to play. So can you just not do that or what? River and Ruins waiting for one player. Savannah and Love waiting for one player. Like, there's nobody else playing the game ever. Okay, cool. What is this? First thing you need to know is connect with other humans who play Polytopia, which apparently is nobody now. Last 3 games. Won by one quiet gamer, lost, won, but that was just a tutorial, obviously. What would the heart even do? Yeah, this is my favorite, just because I won, because clearly let's watch back our epic play from his... Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love this mode. How you can watch back everything that happens. Let's see what he was doing. It felt like he still had a chance of winning, but like all I did was build up the chivalry thing. But wait, how did he have the riders already? Or is it just such a faction that starts with them? That's like their advantage. We level up. He has 3 little bases there. I only have 1. We make an epic comeback. So he goes on the aggressive. Right, we're reviewing and analyzing our game, just like we would do in chess. This is actually a pretty good feature. So you get to see from their perspective what exactly they were doing. And how they beat you or what you could have done better and stuff. Now, this was a great choke point where we could block it. Even if we were getting killed, we could just keep putting units back there and not let them get through. But it seems like he's winning here, doesn't he? But what an epic comeback I made, because the Knights really got off to the races. Look at how many cities he has. Why did he even resign? It didn't feel like that one-sided. I took over like one of those. I was losing on score. I was seemingly losing on the board in terms of the number of cities and stuff. So 4, 3, 3, 1, 2. You got the little explorer thing, which I didn't value as much here. Like, I'm getting pushed back, and he's in my base, so this is sometimes a mistake, though. You overextend yourself, and then you lose units and stuff and fall behind. But he looks like he's in pretty great shape. Look at the number of riders he has right now. It's insane. But then the Knights start to carry me as we go on. So I got them so early that it ended up being helpful. I try to take over this, but he doesn't let me. And then I eventually take over this, which is surprising. I guess everything was just so far away. Or he's just kind of keeping those standing pat, which I don't know why. Why not involve those in the attack somehow? Covered the secret of strategy. Take the workshop. Yeah, it really didn't feel like it was that bad for him. He could have dragged it out and maybe won on score. What was so devastating about taking this? I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you could always try to research knights and stuff too. I guess he must have kept attacking me and then ended up losing a lot of his stuff. So yeah, the knights I definitely like. This is almost like my mid-range card game philosophy, where like you just make a strong unit and just force them to deal with it. Look how imposing his attack is, though. I'm totally on the defensive the whole time, then we start to one-shot his units because the knights are obviously just so strong like that. See, this was sort of an unexpected clutch play by the thing. And then I think he just resigns there once I take it. Or no, maybe he'll kill it, or... No opponents left. Auto clef timer is going to somehow turn out that these are bots, but the other guy destroyed me, so I guess I can't really say that. Losing to a bot. Let's see if we can actually find a match, otherwise... Please don't be the same guy every time. Please don't be. Thank you. Like, I was just, like, hogging up the whole server where he keeps trying to invite him, but it should get the hint that he doesn't want to do it. So I obviously don't know all the nuances of each of these tribes and what their advantages and disadvantages are. The mining one was a little bit tricky. Like, it seemed to maybe starve for resources a little bit at the beginning. Epic Riders. I mean, I guess maybe I just won't be able to play. I'm surprised. I got to too high of a rating, over 1,000, so now they won't let me play, even though that's where I started, and then I fell below and then came back up above. I love that it set... Not only does it use the ELO system, but it even advertises it as the ELO system. Like, in the game. So it's trying to show you, look how balanced this game actually is. So the comparison to chess is totally justified. So many people thought ELO meant, like, online. Like, the E stands for, you know, like, email, internet. But, no, that's just the guy's name who made the system or whatever. Because in this modern era, oh, everybody's playing chess online. I'm a little bit disappointed by that. I was finding the cues pretty early before. Pretty easily before. Okay. This is the only guy who plays the game. So then just destroy me. I don't even care. Like, I hate this part of just waiting for other players to join. Like, I'll just go AFK and see if somebody joins. But then I won't even... Like, I don't mind. Okay, that guy doesn't want to play, like, 1,000 rated player because he's too good for that, but... Game is over. Tap to see the end. Is this the same one I just did now? I don't even know. Yeah, so he took over this. So it doesn't seem that crazy, but I guess it's just the sheer number of knights. It definitely didn't seem over, though. Like, again, I was even second place. But you were kind of catching up. You have to be careful not to overextend your attack, because it can punish you for that pretty hard. Yeah, the replay thing is pretty good. Just to show, I always say that in card games, that should be something that you consider. Just the ability to... you know, basically see what they had in their hand and see what other possibilities there were. But does it show you like a lobby where they're like hosting games and just live games start with a time bank, which dynamically increases every turn based on the number of cities and units you have. Any time left at the end of your turn will be added to your next. I don't get what's happening. Why was it so easy to find these matches before? And now I just can't. I didn't change any settings. Live game, any... number of players. I guess maybe people don't play the two. Fail to get. Something's just bugging out hard. Thank you. What the fuck? Or it always does that, but then it lets you join later. Sweaty spaghetti. Okay, so now we decide. We're like, I always go second. Somehow. Okay, let's see. We get to look for like a little, what do you call it? Okay, make more of these for now, as long as you can. And then at the end of that, I'll pick up some of the fruit. I'll try to find some other villages. And at some point early on, I still want to do the chivalry tree to be able to get whatever, units and stuff. Like here, I might need to do that if I can't make another one, right? So I don't have a choice but to do it. And of course, this will level up the base and stuff, so it makes it kind of worth it. Yeah, you want 5 for riding, so I want to do that super early, and it lets you explore a little bit easier, you know, in the early game. So it's very worth it. In fact, I might even do that like right now. Just skip a turn where you would rather make a unit or rather do something big, and just do that instead. So you have 5, I'll even go for it. You'll have to do free spirit if you have an extra turn too. This we can sort of explore in the other direction a bit. I have nothing left that I can do. Yeah, the fruit stuff is a lot less demanding than the mining, which you still have to learn how to mine, even though they are like mountain people, right? Like here, I didn't even have to do that. You just start with it, so that's their only advantage, I guess. Take over that. Keep exploring here, and now I'll start making the rider units, I guess, instead, or I guess I can't do it. Maybe I'll make one more of these, which I almost don't even want to bother doing, but now, at what point am I going to get a big dump of the stars? It was almost his fault, that guy. He gave me like 7 free stars that helped me push my tech tree to the end, right? By like coming in, he came in peace, and we both got like 7 stars, I guess, from it. But then I immediately attack him anyway. 990, I'm always second, but that last game at least proved. Unknown tribe. Didn't we see it when we queued up what they were? Let's go up to the left a little bit. Let's go on here, take over this village. Sometimes it feels like you start off just way too close to them, too. Okay, that's going to be a problem. You have 3 things only that you can make just because you don't have to worry about the fruit and stuff yet. So at least we have something. So how much would we need to be able to do this? We need 8. Which really feels like a waste, but one of these turns I am going to have to waste, and it might be worth it in the end, but I need a few more of these bases still. These guys only cost 3, so it's not like that big of a deal. This one I'll have to pick up more of the fruit, and you do kind of want these bases to keep leveling up. That makes it worth it beyond just, obviously, increasing your population. We'll keep fanning out, exploring this. It doesn't feel like there's anything relevant behind us. This is all just going to be water, I would presume, right? This is kind of good deductive reasoning. This is water and this is water, so you wouldn't expect there to be anything of value or danger over there. We only have 3 of the stars. Go here. We'll pick up that village. I don't know where this guy really wants to go. You train that, but you'd rather train it closer, but I can't. I guess for now, I'll do that. I mean, basically, the philosophy could be you train as much as you can until you can't, and then you're forced to pick up the berries anyway. But the one thing I'm neglecting is definitely this. Now, why does this price keep fluctuating? I don't get it. It was just 8, now it's 10. Or you got to go to, like, some ruin here and get some rare resource. Right, that'll give you, like, 10 stars in itself and whatever. You meet the leader of Sweaty Spaghetti, salutes you but pays no attention. Discovery trade boost to 5 stars. And then I'll immediately pay him back by doing that. Entering village, we'll be able to capture next turn. That's fine. And then here we'll go to there. Then here we could keep exploring, I guess, this side with these 2. So now what do I want? I have 9, which means I'll actually save them for that, or I'll save some of them, I guess. Here, let's do some of the fruit at least. 1, maybe 1 here. Production, workshop, 5. So now if I save those, I'll have them next turn, right? So that'll give me enough to do the whatever the next thing is. Free spirit, which I'd rather skip that one. Just go straight to chivalry. I don't see what burning the forest down really helps you do, but maybe it creates like a barrier between you and the enemy if they... So we're getting 4 from that. Yeah, maybe the fruit thing you should do a little more, because in the long run, that is going to help. That's why I kept complaining about how much it was generating. Just your turn, take over this. It almost isn't worth it to do that to him, but to have the rider waste that. Secret of hunting. Does that mean I got it without having to do anything here? You could do archery instead. You almost want to go here to try to do that. So I have 11. So how much would I need to do the other thing? You need 12. So maybe I'll just wait. Or I'll do like a few more of the fruit, but I won't make any units. 9. I'm going to take a big gamble here because I just want to... I want to do the chivalry thing so bad. But he could obviously be overrunning me with units. That guy we're definitely going to try to stop. This is what you would have to do, right? To race ahead and do that. You would basically have to we could have like 5 bases right here already in such a small part of the map. You would basically have to skip turns and stuff because there's no other way to do it. He's ahead by only a little bit, but I assume this is maybe how a lot of people play, though. They're not going to all play super aggressively, just try to zerg you down anyway. We can hit you from both sides, presumably with this. Right, so we're not going to let you take that over. We can stay right there. You can't seem to go on that. This guy's not really doing anything. You have 18, so I'm definitely going to do it now. And then once you've done it, you'll be all set for the long run. Or, I mean, you'll still have to worry about that later, but... Here we should do, like, a couple of the fruit. Go ahead and do that. So now I'm a little bit starved as far as the units, but I'm going to have to start basically trying to... What the hell? I'm basically going to have to start trying to actually make units now, which could be difficult. This guy's kind of boxed in. Entering village, we'll be able to capture next turn. He has 10 there. So I assume he has way more units than me. I basically have nothing on the map, which seems very dangerous. And I still don't have the ability to get that. So maybe my sacrifice to do that wasn't worth it. But now at least every turn I should be able to make, like, you know, 3 of the knights or whatever. We'll have like the 5 towns. So it's kind of worth it. But I mean, this guy's in a very sad spot. Move here to capture the city. So I don't know what he's doing with the rest of his units in the back. Or maybe he's even slower to develop than me. You will pay the price for your lack of development, like I always say in chess. Even though I'm no master doing it either. Oh, I keep thinking it's their turn. I don't know how the timer works or why it's so annoying. Oh, God. Now that one might be hard to protect because he's got... Yeah. This is to be expected, but maybe I overdid it a little. And the reason why is because... now you're going to lose both of them. You can make like 3 riders per turn, but now he's going to take over both of these, and I'm just done for it. I wasted too many turns of like not doing anything. Yeah, we'll just pop rider, rider, rider. Even though they are like level 3 and 4 and stuff, it's still not enough to do the chivalry. So how did I manage to even do that? Okay, now we have no choice but to do this. 3, 3, 3. We'll take out this dude. And then we can't even take out the other one, so that's just fantastic. So, I mean, if we can survive this for a little bit, we'll be fine, but I won't. Because I'm assuming he has like 1 million more units coming in, but even if he doesn't, we'd have to take these over back very quickly. Warrior, 1 out of 3. Rider, 1 out of 3. This is the enemy. That one was just impossible. See, sometimes you get just too far out of range, and I can't see exactly where he's coming from either. So this one we might be able to take back. And again, the chivalry thing would be nice, but it basically all cost me the whole game to do. Like, it's impossible to try to do that, or you shouldn't try to rush it. But that's my whole style of play. I want to get to that quickly as possible, and then just have the knights kind of dominate, which did actually win me at least that one game. In one game where knights are actually my favorite piece. That's how you know it's not chess. This guy should be dead meat, or he might escape, and then I'll take over. I don't get sometimes how the damage values work. Like, they do way more attacking than defending and stuff. You have the three riders. This seems very hopeless. You couldn't afford to lose those 2 at least. So even all that sacrifice, and I wasn't able to take over the... I'll still try to do that. Not that he won't be able to kill it, it's just... Here, hold this down, hit this. Or no, I'm making a big mistake, actually, because you're trying to make as many of these as possible. 5. Do it. Do it. I mean, I can't lose any of these. I'm trying to take over Luzma. I'm defending my 3. That's the whole beauty of it, is you can sort of defend them by simply, like, he's gonna come back here, or maybe he won't be able to reach it somehow. But he'll be able to hit this, so he will be able to do it. Yeah, you hit so little back when you do that. Okay. I don't know, I'll still keep trying, but he should be running away with it pretty bad. Yeah, almost doubling me up in points. We have to somehow break his spirit and make him resign, though, despite that. I don't know what I did differently in this one than the last one, though. Like, I was trying to sacrifice to do the chivalry. There are some times where it costs a lot less. I don't know what dictates that. Like, you know, it was costing 8, so I should have done it when it cost 8 and sacrificed that turn or something. So we'll try to still keep needling him there. He's like far enough away where it might be difficult to hit this, but not really. And I only have these 3 units ever, so I'm never going to be able to, like, do anything else. Why does it seem like everybody starts with the riders, so... Or I won't even be able to get to that, apparently. Hit this. Like, you want to move all 3 because you want to make sure that you put the 3 back up there, which I will be able to do. Right, but I'm not keeping them out of range maybe as well as I could. So, looking at the map now, it doesn't look so bad, but he probably has 1,000,000 units off the map, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's overextended himself, but he's taken over these 3 cities. So he has as many cities on my territory as I do, like in this fog of war part of the map. So, I mean, 3 of these you can kind of try to live off, and unless they kill them and take it over in the same turn, which seems unlikely, we should be fine. But yeah, he's doubling me up in terms of points too, which is not even really something I care about. I would almost be the type, like, what was that game I was playing like that? Like, I would lose the game, but because the condition was something specific, but I would still enjoy, like, oh, I destroyed their base or I did something. So it doesn't matter even if I don't win by their condition, but here it would count still. So stupid. Why is this such a drastic difference? No matter how well you decide to play it. Like, we can watch the replay and see what exactly did he do. The rider thing is important, but maybe I waited too long somehow. Like, here I would even skip a turn and just do the chivalry thing somehow. Hit this, then go back. You can kind of slow pace and try to take these guys out at least. We'll always be able to do this. I almost didn't want to that turn, but I mean, I can't afford to sack. So that was the big mistake, I guess. I sacked a turn just to try to... I sacked a turn to try to get the stupid peace thing. What's it called? Free spirit. Which doesn't do anything for you, really. Like, what does it even do? Just to allow you to get to chivalry. Allows you to make a temple. Gives you 1 population. Gives you 100 score. Grows every 3 turns. Provides 50 points for each level grown. I mean, I guess that's good as a long-term investment just to try to win the game, but how do I even make it? Isn't that like one of those where you can just do it off to the side here? I really have to wonder where his other base is. Maybe, no, none of these could have been because I had taken over all 3 of these, or I was about to, and then he started to come down from the mountains and stuff. Defenders didn't bother me too much before, so they shouldn't do that much, basically. Or maybe they do very little when they attack you, but when you attack them, they'll counter pretty well. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these, which is not bad. You have to very strategically do this. And I'll ignore the defender stuff for now. Make 1 here. Go ahead, finish this guy off. Make 1 there. Let's see how much we can do to these. He hits me for 10, though. So, okay, very nice. I shouldn't even bother doing that. Why do you have a defender on the attack, though, is the thing. Can't make the temple. I almost need some stuff that's just going to be long range. Right, like the archer would have been worth it to look into here. I can't train that anymore. What? Or here, I'll just pick up some fruit then. I'll get more resources so we can just keep spamming this. There's something I'm not understanding about the tech tree, I guess, at some point. Like, what can I do now? I'll just pick up the rest of the fruit, too. Or how much would archery be? Archery would only be 10. So maybe I can get that next turn and use that to try to fight back. This is like that one map in the Sacred Stones where it's like all those archers on horses. And so they'll come in, they'll attack your ground units with their bow. Then they'll be able to run away. So you can't fight them back that way because obviously it's melee versus range. But then you can't catch up to them either. It was so annoying. I can't even tell if my stream's frozen. This is one of those kind of games. Like, you glance over and it looks like, oh, it's just a still screen. So how would you even know the difference? You know, you'd have to wait for some movement to happen. Like, chess can be like that, too. So many chess comparisons. I should have had a counter for it. But, I mean, obviously, this is more like 4X type stuff. Oh, is this the Blade Master guy? Swordsman, veteran. Or, like, do some of the units level up? Like, when it says 1 out of 3 kills, if it gets 3 kills, it'll level up and become something stronger, maybe? That would be kind of a bad mechanic, but you shouldn't let people do that anyway. What is this, like a boat? Boat warrior. I mean, at least we're forcing him to have to do this a little bit. 4, 8... I mean, whatever I'm doing is not going to work, so whatever, just... Yeah, we're just playing as defenders ourselves. We'll defend from the water. We'll go ahead and do the archer thing. That might turn the tide of battle somehow. Spiritualism, yeah, at least that's on the third thing. So here we can do the archer, but I can't. Like, I've just reached the limit of how many units I can have, I guess. And now this will somehow let him get through and just... I should have picked up the fruit. That'll somehow let him get through. It should let you do it on your opponent's turn if you forgot to do it and still have the resources left over, you know? Look how long he's taking to do this, but obviously he's going to clown me in terms of the points. Can we make as epic of a comeback as we did in terms of... I don't get what this guy did. I kind of want to watch it. I don't like to resign either, but this kind of makes it take forever. That's always right. Piss people off in chess too. So whenever these get attacked back, like they're the same unit, it's just that they do more that way on the offense than otherwise. Could just be somehow certain advantages that... Oh, I can't even get to that. Just because you don't resign doesn't mean you don't still give up. Like you won't be playing as annoyingly as you could. Or yeah, is it possible to draw in this game? And will you get 70% plus of draws at the highest level when played perfectly? Because I kind of doubt it. Or I don't even know how you would. I guess you could have the same exact number of points, but it would be a lot harder to do that. The whole design of a game is meant to not end in a draw. Like, that's why chess didn't do so well. That's why people had to come and stream it, you know, to make the money they felt they deserved, because it was never going to be the most popular game because of that. Imagine you pay money and you travel across the country to go watch like a sports game or something. You don't come to watch a draw, and you'd be so disappointed if it was one, right? So your team doesn't win or lose, they just draw. So that's even more unsatisfying. At least if they lost, you can be mad about it or get some sort of reaction out of you, like, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. But no, we both played perfectly and we got a draw. So wow, what a fun experience. Your turn. You being archers, I guess. Like, why is this dragging out so long, dude? Next turn waiting, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to reach a proper conclusion, but this sort of pads his stats maybe a bit. Like, all he would have to do is kill these and just... He has, like, almost only defenders. Or a lot of his stuff is just dying on its own. Like, he had way more stuff, but it died just trying to attack stuff. Alright, let him take every last thing. It's not even me, like, being a poor sport. I just want to see the game come to its natural conclusion. Right? You can't have that quitter's mentality. You can even be learning from these losses somehow. Let's see how he built it, but it doesn't really tell you always exactly what he's doing. It just kind of shows you but you can kind of figure it out. That replay is good. Okay, we'll go as the third race until I lose, which of course will never happen. So then I'll just decide. We'll go through 3 of them at least. So I won basically 1 game on the first one because of the AFK, and then we won 1 game here legitimately because of my little knight build. Yeah, you kind of have to play differently with each one and play to the strengths of whatever you start with, but it's possible like some of them are just better for what I'm trying to do. Like maybe this tribe was better for the early game stuff, or somebody's just going to start with more stuff at the beginning. You almost have to neglect making units at the beginning and just go for the tech tree, but it's hard to do that because what ends up happening is just you get overrun like this. It almost wasn't worth it. I don't know. I don't know how the costs keep randomly changing throughout the game. Yeah, we're attacking with an archer, and why does it keep saying like that? Is that like another game that's going on? It keeps giving you a prompt like new turn waiting. Yeah, why would you ever need to zoom out like this? Or like some of these maps could be potentially way bigger too. Have that flexibility rather than beating it like a dead horse and doing the same thing over and over, like 8x8 board. Like it's possible to still appreciate the game without blindly defending it that way too. Like, clearly any game that is like, wow, this has so many more squares and so many more possibilities of how it could play out. Fire Emblem is like that, or just anything. RTS games, 4X games, Civilization. But yeah, chess gets in this weird fallacious space of like, yeah, it has this infinite, like not even infinite. It has this ridiculously high number of combinations of moves, but you're deconstructing it down to that point. Every other game isn't looked at like that because it goes without saying. Like, obviously, what are the number of combinations in any game, especially any real-time game? It'd be so hard to even calculate with like, human variables as far as what could I have even done there anyway? Why does it keep doing that? So you wouldn't even go to calculate it. So that's almost a sign of weakness for. It's almost a sign of weakness for. Or when I go to delete, it still showed up here though. All the other ones. I kind of wanted to see that. Okay, we'll do one more class basically, which will be whatever the one after that is. And so I'm just trying to think like. We had a strategy that worked in the one game, so we try to get. I'll try to look at the tech tree a little more thoroughly and see like maybe there's sometimes where it's cheaper. I don't know why those costs keep adjusting. Like the more bases you have, it somehow punishes you by charging you more for the upgrades or something. Speaking of the whole opposite interpretation thing, so many of these games I play on Saturday, which is a day like I play stuff I've never played before, at least the first thing I do. So like a lot of them have been casual, or almost all of them have been multiplayer, but not because, I like those things, but actually because I dislike them, because I avoided stuff like that over the years. So it doesn't mean I'm a casual that we did like guns up in this. Not that this even necessarily so casual that way, it just sometimes take on that form. So let's try that one. You should probably at least be allowed to practice and stuff when you only get one life, but I'll try to do it basically the same way, but yeah, like the little Viking helmet, so basically you might have some advantage with combat focused stuff, which is the main thing of what I'm trying to do. That's almost the problem with the game like this. It has all these different resource trees and this and that you can do, but it's almost not even something that people would do. They'll just do a mindless face roll combat like what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll start this. Now we're fighting for our lives, or it lets you do it again. It seems to do that error every single time. You've been chosen to rule the tribe, explore the world, expand your empire, watch out for other tribes, capture all capitals to win. Okay, your turn. So we want to move along and try to just explore. You can make another unit. No reason not to at this point. Hunting. Do it. It's going to be the same thing as basically the berries. But you can hunt, but you can't pick up berries. You can't gather. So let's see what we would do here. Free spirit, chivalry. I should almost go into archery. That might not be a bad idea. We'll build it that way this time. Try to take over more villages. I'll look over a bit on this side. Now what we could try to do is just make more warriors, but I can't. So you almost don't have a choice but to do this. But I still don't understand exactly what's happening with respect to just getting the stars, or like why stuff costs so much. Spiritualism, grow force, like none of that matters though, right? It's gonna come down just to combat. I don't get it. That's why your military budget, like even in real life, has got to be the highest. Even if you don't care about that, it's like that's what it's gonna come down to anyway. Right? If you don't have the ability to protect yourself and do all that, then you're not gonna have anything. The next turn I should do archery. Like let's just get off to a good start that way. That could certainly help you dominate in the early game, but not really because okay. Polytar. What is this? Is this even like a tribe or this? What is that? The leader salutes you with friendly, pays no attention. Yeah, even as they're attacking me. Take over this. And so I don't know what those are or how they got them out so quickly, but okay. Maybe they're weak when you go to attack them, or they just made super strong units with no effort at all. Nice game. How is this possible? It's like turn 3. There must be some downside to it, surely. Here, I'll even just do that, even though I just said that's probably going to cost me the game. So what exactly are these, and how exactly did you do this? Maybe that's like just a special unit you start with, and you don't get any other thing like that for the rest of the time. City, like, what is this, dude? Talk about Zerg. I'm getting my own bad karma. Like, they're Zerging me down with seemingly no effort at all. I'll still try to keep fighting them, I guess, but keep exploring. Don't let them do anything. I'll try to rely on the archers for the early game, I guess. I don't have any other, just something other than the basic foot soldiers. And then I would go into free spirit and chivalry too, but it's just not going to work. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. A 15 health. They must have some major disadvantage if they're able to do stuff like this, or they could be hacking the game. They're at 1870. Like, what could they have done in that short a span of time? I don't get it. The problem with these is you're not going to be able to protect them still. You'll get a free hit off, but then, you know, you don't have the mount to be able to escape. Or we got to get riding anyway. Can you be like a riding archer too on top of everything? That would be the ultimate. But again, they're already pushing us back. I have a hard time understanding what is even this unit. I don't get it. It must be something very specific to a particular tribe. You get to make like unicorns at the beginning and just with 15 health. It makes no sense what's happening. Polytar. This does not seem like a real part of the game. I was even saying is there going to be magic and stuff. 6. I almost don't want to do that, but that one's not hitting me for too much at least. Go here. We'll explore a bit more. And then we have 6, so let's do riding too. Even though, again, I have very few units. I would assume they would have very few too, but they have just a million very strong things with no effort. So I don't know how that works. We kill that. You got a new task. Kill 10 enemies. Hitting me for 9. He captured that already. We can keep slow pacing you with the archers a little bit. Doesn't seem very difficult for them to do basically whatever they want. So, like, yeah, we got to see a replay for this. How did you just spawn in some things from another dimension, from another game that has no place here? What is this tribe? Polytar, dash, fortify, independent. Does not require any support from its home city. Attack, defense, movement, range. I don't know what this is and how they got so many so fast. Your turn. Like, I'm already about to lose. It's for 6, and of course I'm doing it in melee range like a moron too. hit you there, defend the base, finish you off. That makes it pretty worth it. We can keep going a little bit here, hopefully finish it off, which I did. But now, in the process of doing this, I'm not making any new units either. So, you do have the ability to make riders, but I don't have the ability to actually do anything with them. Like, or I can't really make them because... Whatever, we can just survive this somehow, we'll be fine, but I won't be able to. Yeah, this is just ridiculous. Optimal build or not, like I gotta learn opening theory in Polytopia, or that's why it's even called that. This is the title. I'm fighting the title boss. I was not expecting to have to deal with this. Yeah, so why not have a tribe that has magic and wizards and all kinds of crazy stuff too? So weird. You'll hit that for 6. You'll hit that. I should have probably ganged up and done those two together. Because the thing is, you can't really move or do anything either. Archery, spiritualism, at least this lets me save up my stuff, but I didn't really appreciate it's like the whole EVE Online thing. Oh, let's see what the economy system in this game is like. Meanwhile, space lasers go pew pew because I was just doing that the whole time. Or like, what was the other game? I can't remember, but like, yeah, even this. Let's see how all the other cool mechanics work, and we just turned it into a combat thing. Maybe I'll do another one. I just want to have more like a normal game, like where they don't know what they're doing, or I don't know. I don't have any units. Like, what am I supposed to do at this point anyway? There's obviously some major mechanic that I'm just missing. They win. Wait, well, why do you win that quickly? Shouldn't it have been like... Okay, one more. Do we get the replay of the last one, or what happens? I guess not. Good thing we have it on video anyway. Okay, last try, whatever it is. This guy. Game not found. Of course, it never is. Okay, so this is the one where you start with riders. You've been chosen to rule the empire, okay? So this one might suit me because you already have that unlocked, I guess. To make a rider, and then you got to just make sure you push that off to, you know, you're already off to a head start with free spirit and knight, so that's all I should focus on. Harvest fruit, which I can't do. So maybe that's the one disadvantage that you have. You have to commit to getting the resources that way. So this is the perfect way to Zerg, because if they play at slow pace like me, you'll just destroy them because you have too many units already, and you can explore too easily. So this almost does suit me very well. Go capture that. I'll try to go this way, and then I'll try to... Yeah, I can't really do anything this time. So I'm actually going to skip it, as much as I hate doing that. And I'm going to save up for either the ability to get the fruit or the ability to get the free spirit. It's way cheaper now. You don't have enough stars to buy this. Yeah, but why does the cost randomly increase is the whole thing. 6. This could be a big mistake, but I'll still do it. And then chivalry is only going to cost 7, so it's almost worth it at times to do it like that. But they're going to have 1,000,000 units on top of us. And like, the riders aren't even that much stronger, but just the fact that they have such good mobility is what makes it worth it. So that's the trade-off that you make, is that you start with riders unlocked, but then you lose the ability to obviously... Now it's going to cost 13, so I don't get that at all. Here, I'll make some foot soldiers, even though I don't really want to. I'm probably way behind in terms of the units, or I'm first actually here. I don't know what they're doing. They could just be really bad and not know what they're doing, which is how 1,000 ELO players should be in that state anyway. So because it sort of suits my style, I definitely wouldn't want to lose and go on a good streak with this, because, you know, like how we get Lux in Paladins, where he has the auto-aim mechanic. Any character that has an ability that just auto-locks onto them is going to subvert the fact that my aim is so bad. Yeah, I don't know what that whole unicorn shenanigans was. Please don't be the same thing again. This guy I don't even really want. Right, as much as I like the riders, it can be a little bit weird. So we have 4 stars. you'll never be able to do chivalry basically for the rest of your life. That's just what you have to accept. Let's make another one of these and then try to, or you know what? No, I don't care. I'll just make even more riders. It's fine. What I'm not doing is picking up the fruit. In fact, I still can't even do it. Like the first thing you get costs a little bit less, and then it bumps everything else up, I guess. So I'll make as many riders as I can, but then I'll have to waste a turn doing that. You're only getting like 1, 2, 3, 4 per turn. Which is why this sort of incentivizes you to get the fruit and stuff. Now, how would you even level this one up? Because there's nothing even around it. Or you'd have to like chop the trees or do something else. This resource outside of your empire. Wild animal unknown tribe. The leader salutes you, pays no attention to your tiny realm. Discovery gives you 5. You're up to 10. So you should almost try to leverage that to do what you're going to do. The spider, and we took over that. Now, is that even the other player, or I don't know? That almost just seems like wild animal, like it said that. Another village there. We'll try to fan out this way. Now we have 10. So now we're going to get a total of like only 4. You should almost do this and then save chivalry for later. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do nothing and just make sure I get chivalry out. So if they let me do this, then I'm okay with it. But fuck. This is not the right way to play. Because, like, imagine how many units they must have right now. They must have the biggest army you've ever seen. Resign from the game. No opponents left. Okay, so that still counts. They can't keep us below 1,000 elo. Mimuzian. Yeah, the queues are pretty good, though, for the most part. Although a lot of the time you might be playing people on phone, and it makes sure to point that out, too. Games played 6, game version. Okay. I'll go until I lose a them, which clearly won't happen. So I'll just go as long as I want, I guess. I don't know why the replays weren't really updating. Finish games. The best way you can just kind of annoy people and get them to resign. But it's not like I'm taking forever on my turns or something. I don't know if that really feels like a deserved win or anything. I'm not really doing anything at the beginning. But it pays a hefty toll later if you don't, if you don't learn how to gather stuff. Because then you're only gaining a very small number of resources. You kind of have to work out how much is worth committing to that. You'd have to pay 4 to level thing up once to give you 2 instead. And the whole idea of discovering them is the big threshold. As soon as you discover them, you get to get like a boost. That would have let me get the chivalry. And then as long as I don't lose right away, which I probably deserve to, waiting for a player to accept the invitation is gone. The way this works is a little bit weird. Because it'll try to invite like one person only. Maybe that's all who's playing. Or I don't think I played like the same person twice or something, but he kept trying to invite that one guy on his phone and he kept 1500 elo tryhard guy. Let's try again. Like, what if I wait on this screen? Join this game or decline the invitation. But there is nobody in the game. Sometimes there will be, actually. Start off with riding, but you don't start off with the ability to gather. It's almost like that's the first thing you should get. But then I somehow feel tempted not to. Right, so I instead got like the free will because it was so cheap. And then at some point, everything starts to cost way more than what it shows at first. Like, that's one thing either I just went over my head or something, as far as like how the cost for things just randomly change. Like, as you get more villages, somehow the upkeep and stuff goes up, or they just kind of go easy on you when you're getting your first thing. But it makes sense to commit to that row. So it works for me in 2 levels. 1, that I like to do that row anyway, but 2, that I like to zerg, so obviously riding around would be good for that. But my units were so shitty at the beginning of that I don't know if maybe resetting the game helps with this. Like, I don't know what goes wrong. Not that I expect it to always be instant, but yeah, like where in this is like the spiders and the Like, what was the special tribes? Collection of tribes are a bit out of this world. Is that what the unicorn thing was? The mysterious, whatever. Woodland, colorful magic, fire-breathing dragons. That is pretty cool, actually. I was wondering about that. I almost don't like to look at the other ones. I'd rather save it for, once we get there, which I won't, but... Yeah, let me try to restart. This is kind of dumb sometimes with how the matchmaking works. The idea of to pay like money for those. Do you get a special DLC to unlock the whatever the unicorn that's clearly busted and starts with like 15 attack, crazy shit at the beginning? More info. You probably do have to buy it, which is fine. I mean, anybody could be using it potentially. It's just Aquarion, Polaris. I mean, you'll have certain advantages maybe based on the terrain of some of these areas too, but 196 lakes, kind of crazy. Like so many of these mechanics I'm underutilizing kind of on purpose too, because I assume you can just kind of brute force it and get like your really strong units out there, and that's all I care about. But I guess to get to that point is very hard because you're going to be in a position where you can't really afford it, or I don't know. You'll be like cucking your own units. But then again, the advantage you have here is just being able to explore and stuff too. So you'll find like the ancient ruins and it'll give you a whole bunch of extra stars. Can't spell starved without star because you're always so starved for resources at the beginning of these. I don't get what ends up happening here. Dead game. Or there was somebody there. Waiting for one player to accept, but they won't accept because they just sit there for no reason. Oasis of Crabs. Maybe this map's just suboptimal for him and not favorable. He wouldn't even know who I'm playing as, too. So it's not like, oh, it's some sort of unfair matchup or something like that. Although I'm sure some are just strategically way better against one another. And yet it still has the nerve to do the elo system. You can't do the elo system except with a game that's so contrived and perfectly balanced like chess, even though it's objectively unfair for the person playing black. And therefore, unless you get to play a set of games, it's not fair against the same opponent. Like, whoever's black, or I mean, whoever's white will always win, or have an objective advantage, or it'll come down to, a draw anyway. But that's not how it's done at the professional level, like where you get to, you just play one game and one game only. It'll always be a set. Oh, come on, man. You can keep doing it like over and over until you see somebody in the first part. Find match. Waiting for a player to take the spot. Join this game or decline the invitation. So I'll only accept, I guess, if somebody pops up in there, maybe? I mean, it's like my own game. It's not like somebody else is there hosting it. Let me actually look at this game on Steam charts. I should have played it closer to when he made that statement. Then a lot more people would have been doing it. Polytopia. Path of Exile, 128,000 players. Holy shit. Current players 111. Current day average 121. Even with the help of that, it's still kind of a dead game, to be honest. Can you please just do one? Just one more. He won't accept, though. He's there. He's on his phone. But he got distracted. His microwave is done cooking, or his mom called him because it's a 5-year-old kid playing this game. Because clearly that matters too. Chess is a game that'll humble you with stuff like that. Oh, you lost to a little kid. Like, yeah. Meanwhile, this kid is like 2,000 FIDE at like 7 years old or something. Doesn't even mean it gives them an advantage. It just means that, it doesn't have anything to do with it. They just won't accept, though. I mean, they're just in the game to just sit there and do nothing. Or they're waiting for as long as I am. Please. Now it'll bug out, and then it'll let me join after. Makes me feel like I'm hacking somehow. Okay, expand. That is our specialty, so The only other thing I have to consider with this is whether I should do that, right? Like maybe the first turn I should just do it. Don't make a unit and just go for that. But then the free spirit thing is going to cost too much, you know? Like what benefit does it really give me? Feels kind of too slow paced. I should just ignore it altogether. That's more my playstyle. Ignore one of the core mechanics and just... I don't know. It doesn't make sense, though. You already have the rider. He's just going to DC, which isn't even satisfying. I want to go on a crazy long win streak, and obviously those count towards it, but it doesn't mean that that's the way that you want it to happen. You're only getting 2 stars, right? So this first 5 is very important. Climbing, like, why would you get any of these if... Reduces 1 population for 2. Must be on tile with a fish. Need research, fishing. Like, obviously you have the most of these, so you should just do it. They look like cactuses more than anything else. Or they're going to be roping. Out of time. Turn to transfer to the other player, so they could just be AFK, so I'll take it. So here we could do that, but you know what? I'll do this just because, but I don't really want to. Now the problem is you're going to have to waste even more resources doing that. This is the part that I hate. So I'd like to do the free spirit, but I'll make units until then. Or like if I get 5, but I won't get 5 because you'll only get 2, right? You got to do it twice to level this thing up. So I'll make 1 unit and then one of these. They're just AFK, man. But yet they did at least accept the match. This is at least much more interactive than the other thing. Than Guns Up, where it's like asynchronous multiplayer. This is at least presumably the other player is actually there doing something. Whereas here it's like... You see, there'll be an optimal opening for each of these tribes too. Like this guy is supposed to make as many units as possible and zerg you down or whatever. Transfer time to other player. Move a unit here, but I guess I just can't do that then, huh? You'd like to do that, but you can't do it. So now this is a horrible, horrible way to start, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. New turn waiting. Something's buggy about this whole interface. Like, I wouldn't even blame them if somebody's AFKing, but the way the matchmaking works is a little bit weird. Like, it'll try to invite the same person for like an hour, and then if they just don't join, it'll keep staying on that, I guess because there's nobody else, but... We would go try to pick up this village, but I only have 1 unit, so this shows you how absolutely dreadful of a spot I'm going to be in. All just to get this up to 3, which is barely even worth it. So I should bring the other guy here, but sometimes you just hit a dead end, so maybe that's not worth it. And this I couldn't seem to get to. Automatically kicked. Okay, I win. Farming elo. From either bots or just AFK stuff. Maybe this is the same guy as before, too. I'm unbeatable as this class. The Moon of Songs. Now watch, it's going to be the same guy for the rest of my life. I just won't be able to do it. I just want to have 1 quality win here, which I guess I had earlier. As like the Imperium, that was at least like a properly fully played out game. And it was even an epic comeback because I was losing most of the way. And then he sort of attacks me too aggressively and loses a lot of units. And then I take over one of his cities, but it still didn't seem too lopsided. It seemed like he could have still won at that point. Or it was a fair match, or he was still leading in terms of points. Now we're going to be stuck matching with him for the rest of our existence, so we just can't do it. Guru, this is the guy who's still just probably AFK'd out of one of these. I mean, it's fine if they're willing to risk their precious elo to do that and waste both of our times. We still win. That'll contribute to the legendary story of a win streak of how we won like 50 straight games with this tribe. Just like how if I DC or something happens, it still counts. Game version, games played 97. Number of friends, 5. I mean, I guess you can leave that there. So what if I try to find another one? It'll invite somebody else. And then it'll have that one waiting there too. I don't want to play like 2 games at once though. This isn't correspondence. Waiting for player to join. Like one of these might go through. Mountain and destruction. Like how many of these would I have to make to just get one match off? I'll end up matching against myself. Nobody. At least those guys are occupied as if in a match. I'm going to get banned for having too many of these. Waiting. The first couple of matches were almost deceptive because we did get queues like instantly. The 111 plus players doing this, but I guess they're all maybe too high rated. Which I wouldn't even care. Let me get my butt kicked by a 1500 like we're playing Andre in chess. I don't know what amount of growth that even was for him because it seemed like he was that good to begin with. He just didn't know how to bring it out or something. Like he clearly was bragging about, knowing openings and stuff. So it's not any different than, that's what he should have been all along. But like Simply definitely seemed to show improvement. Like going from like 900 to 1900 in like a year is actually pretty legit. 1-1. So that was obviously the other. What was this one? This was like the weird unicorn thing. Lost to a unicorn, My Little Pony fan. So dumb. Those two I actually want to keep open because it'll at least occupy them. Right, like it'll make sure that I don't get matched against them again. So all the 100 people here are just like the people who join in these matches and then sit there. Like they won't actually do it to play. Like they're either botting or farming for something, but I don't see why. Makes no sense. It's like, why do people even bot? Like in Hearthstone or something, what good is it doing them? They're just farming gold, I guess, or I don't know. A lot of the time you wouldn't even be getting gold because if you just keep playing matches, you're gonna, I don't know, like at a low rank or something, it doesn't do anything for you. They even put that limit, like you can only win like 10 sets of 3 games for a maximum of like 100 gold. Like that was in the old days. The point is, I wouldn't even hold this against the game too much. It's just a little bit weird. Please. This is at least somebody different. Draven Pace. Is this going to be the pace that you choose to just sit here and do nothing? It's bizarre that they would, like, what else is he doing in the game then? Or he just happens to have it open in the background on his phone, but in a way, some of these games, even as much as they're made for mobile or they're associated with that, doesn't mean they're bad. Like Guns Up was actually a pretty good game. This is actually a really good game. So sometimes that simplicity is fine. Like chess is a perfect game to play on your phone, and that doesn't diminish the game at all. Okay, now we'll just keep getting matched up with some of these same people for so goddamn long. The guru, it's just the same people over and over. It's either bots or just people who want to block up the matchmaking for some reason. I don't know why. Just trying to force it so that they match against each other, which seems like it would be really easy to do. You could just game the system with Elo and have your friend, get matched with you and do it over and over again. Oh my god. Come on, I just wanted one more. Wait, what is that? Like a 3v3? Not invited to this lobby. Well, then why the fuck am I there? Not invited. Nice. I wasn't invited. That's why it showed the prompt to me in the first place. Okay, dude. Come on. Just one more I wanted. Whatever. We can end on a high note, beating people who are just AFKing out or whatever, resigning. And we get to end off with our favorite tribe, presumably just starting on the knights or the mounts. Multiplayer, what is the 1? Oh, just to show that. Join this game or decline the invitation. But I'm not invited, so that's amazing. Okay, the matchmaking is bugged, on top of just maybe being a dead game. It has been out a lot longer than I guess I expected. Yeah, let's read some Steam reviews or something of it, just for the heck of it. I didn't even know it was on Steam. Maybe it's better on phone somehow. 10 out of 10. Very positive reviews. Kind of looks like Civilization, but matches last for 40 minutes instead of 40 generations. Even 40 minutes seems, well, it makes sense. Very simple strategic game, very easy to start and play with your friends, but the perfection mode is very challenging because it requires luck, accurate operation, understanding of the game. Negative review, it's a great bite-sized game, but I don't appreciate the tribes that have something different to offer. Being locked behind DLC, skin pack, sure, cosmetics, all you want, but anything new that continues to make the game interesting and engaging to be part of the base game. I can't defend such tactics. Game is way too zoomed out with 4K screens. Minimalist version of Civ-like games. Needs a pause button for live games. Imagine demanding a pause button in a turn-based game already. You can just wait on your turn and that should be enough. But like how you could always troll people in NBA 2K by doing that. You could pause it and like, you know, wait till a second left and it would give you a certain amount of time that you could do that. Or people would spam pause, like just to show like, oh, look at that shot I just made. Just to rub it in your face. Maybe I should do like a practice game just for the sake of it. That is totally bugged out. Like how that just won't go away. Damn it. This would be the benefit of being a big streamer. You could get people to play just because this guy just doesn't want to play the game. 349 games played. And I don't even mind, but then he just keeps queuing up. Or maybe he's not trying to do that, but somehow it just invites him anyway. I'm not invited, so therefore I can't get rid of the thing that says invitation. Or I should try like one match of perfection. Share your skills on the global high score in the classic 30 turns game. Domination, play until there's only one tribe left. Set up your own game, play however you like. I almost just want to like test how it would work, but I like to still do that more actively. Like how I should build it at the beginning, right? There's like two theories that I have. One is you should just build as many riders as you want and just, you know, go for it. Or number two is you should try to learn how to pick up the fruit and stuff, but it almost doesn't seem worth it. Really somebody different. Okay, here we go. So now we get to make that same decision again. It's just like, can you get away with your first 5 turns of not making any units? And the answer is absolutely goddamn not, but maybe. Because you start off with so little, so I don't get it. And even the act of spending 2 and 4 on this will only make this give you 1 more. So it's almost not even worth it. You gotta find the next village or at least something. So I'll do that, I guess, but I'm not too happy about it. At least we can cover more ground this way, but... And I almost don't want to make anything besides the riders. It almost seems like a waste. But I guess if you have a little excess resource, it's fine. You obviously can't worry about the first, second thing too much. That's like a ruin. That's going to be pretty useful. We only have 2. So look at how many turns I'm wasting. You're obviously going to get wrecked here. They're going to have like 5 15 health unicorns coming in next turn. Somehow, magically. DLC pay to win class. That guy's complaint was more just that it's interesting, like not that it's even better, but just you shouldn't have to pay for stuff like that. Filled with ancient resources, but how many? 12. Okay, so that's such a game-changing lucky outcome that we should definitely do this. That only costs 7, so now I'm very eager to just, you know what I mean, like this should mathematically still work out, but now it's going to cost more, I bet. 7. If I can do that, I don't know how that works. Like, why does it cost so much less now? If I can get that for 7, I'm already win the game. Now I can justify it, but how could I have known that this thing was going to give me that many? So please just let it be 7, and I'll get at least 7 from that. I'll have 8, which means it's still arguably not even worth it because I have 1 unit on the goddamn map. Like, think about how I'm doing this. Fuck. And I won't have enough to make these constantly, but at least I have it unlocked. So now I'll just make a whole bunch of riders for the time being. So imagine what kind of insane army he must have right now, but I'm just ignoring it. And again, you're not going to have enough resources to even get up to 8 every turn, so... And now there's no more fruit to even get, so the only way to level this up, I guess, would be to get the fish. Your turn. Okay, so now we definitely have to make riders. I'm not going to slow pace it in such a way that... You know... You have 2 left. There's nothing else I can do. So the one thing I got a little bit unlucky on is the other villages. Maybe that's a price to pay as far as the desert. Now, why did that appear? Is that because he's there, or... like... There might not be as many villages to take over, basically. You might get cucked that way. And just obviously the fact that you have to buy into the ability to even gather your nearby resources. Like, this isn't part of my kingdom, but then what the hell is it a part of? Like, where? I don't know. And this you have to do, like, 1 space at a time, which is very annoying. Yeah, I'll be satisfied with this for now. I can't really do anything else. I probably will get clowned here, but at least we can see, like... This kind of keeps expanding a bit. We have 3 riders. It's turn 6, which means he has, like, 1,000,000 things, just because that's how they do it. Go here. Is there like another village anywhere is just my only question. Let's go over maybe somewhere here. Discovery salutes you, friendly. But we're not gonna play it like friendly that way. Now we can make a knight, but I don't have enough room apparently to do that. Or apparently I can't do anything, so we have 2 villages to take over, but now he's gonna overwhelm me clearly with his brute force here. So you already kind of sign your death warrant by playing like this, because yes, I can make a knight, but I won't be able to. Like, it's a good problem to have, but we only can have 3 of these total just based on this. Cannot support any more, and I can't really level it up, nor do I really want to. So you can see that this is all I have, but maybe I have units somewhere else. Maybe I have a whole horde of them here. This is the enemy. I would hope he doesn't have too much in the vicinity. If I can take over these 2 cities, then I'll be in good shape. Just... They're always leading in points, but that's just my style of play. Like, that part I don't even mind. Or maybe I could have hit him and then come here. I just wasn't paying attention, or maybe I didn't know it was there yet. Somehow the fog was... I don't know. He goes away. I could try to take over this, but I probably shouldn't even bother doing that. I have plenty of stars, so in the long run that could help me, but it's not going to, because... Or like I could go here, then I could go here, but it's not really going to work. I should almost still try to do that, but... It's me for 6. I can try to do this. I'll just keep going this way. So the problem is, I don't have anything still that I can do there. So I almost want that guy to die. We have 16, which means I could do something else altogether. Like, let's do fishing then. Fishing, whaling, sailing, hunting. Let's just do fishing so that we can do this. Do that. Do that. What else is even in here that you could do? Climbing, sailing, hunting, farming. I wasted all my shit, but I guess it's fine. Or that'll cost 5. Creates 2 population, must be tile with a crop. So yeah, I'm doing my whole tech tree and I'm gonna lose just in combat like every other time. That it seems to come down to that, which I don't mind that, but it seems to usurp everything else and the importance of it. So we'll take over this one, but now who knows how much stuff he has. It could just be that we started close to each other, but... It's almost like you want stuff to die so that you just have room to make the knights. And they can turn the tide of battle, but... At most, I'm going to be able to do what? Like, make 1 or 2? Or now I wasted so much on other stuff that I didn't even need to do that... Maybe if you level it up past 4, it'll give you way more than that. It won't just give you like 5. It'll give you like 10 or something crazy. Yeah, we got lucky even with the little ruin, and we even got Or he's actually still letting me do this. Whatever, I'll push forward a little bit there. He's almost deliberately cucking me in this way to just get even more stars that I have nothing to do with. So you'll get 5 from that. As long as we have the 3 riders here, it's fine, but I just don't know what to do. Kills that, he's going to try to take over there, and I have nothing close enough to even deal with that. I think I've already lost. Not going to interfere with my crops and stuff, is he? Or is that why the burning mechanic is good? You could burn this down so I couldn't even use it, but... Damn, dude. I wish I could watch the replay on some of these. It doesn't seem to work, really. Yeah, that was a pretty bad strategy, so I should have just made more riders, but then I'll fall behind in this way, too. You have to at least make enough stuff to survive and then worry about that later. I just tried to speed run it for that. Or like I wasted too much on other stuff, but now I don't even have... I never had enough time to make like too many units anyway. So I almost have to bring these back. Like, he already has more here than my entire capacity for them. So we make a knight here and it can fight everybody off. That would be nice. Or we can make like 1 per turn, but I won't even be able to still do that. He'll just be able to gang up on them, so I have to come back. Make another rider here, and I'm just going to have to work with this, which is very unlikely to happen. You at least have to have 3 or 4 of them. So, like, unless this is his main base, which is not. Level 2. Yeah, it's not really that impressive, huh? All it takes is 2 of these dinky things to do it. Wow. You gotta find one that really you can play that aggressively with, but this almost seems like it. So I should have just made the riders and just gone for it. And then don't even worry about doing the tech tree too much, which was sort of my initial philosophy, but... How did they do all this so fast, though? I don't get it. Let's actually try to watch one of these replays if this guy ever ends his turn. 229 left. Okay. You can still try to fight back some of these, but it's not really going to do too much. They're already going to take over the 1, or you could start making knights here, and that would be of certain value. But you can't, because you're not going to be able to... Capital has been captured. Or does that mean he still wins? Because you don't have to capture every city, just every capital, which I don't even know how that determines that. Like this, we could just pretend this is our new capital. Don't you love it so much? Okay. 3,800. Okay, dude. Oasis of Crowns. This one just won't go away. Yeah, replay. Let's see how. Or is this going to be some different one? This is the guy with the unicorns. Let's try to understand what exactly is it that they're doing that is so... Or did he just disconnect after that? Nice. Oh, what did my elo even fall to that time? Yeah, being able to see it from their perspective is good. Yeah, this must be the stupid unicorn one, right? Workshop reward. He's just kind of walking around a bit. It's not that hard to cover, you know, the big spaces on the map because it's not that big of a map. Pick resources reward. What ended up happening here? Or no, they even resigned. We killed the spider. We tried to take over their base. Yeah, they were at a very big disadvantage. Just like, you know, they had nothing going. They made like 0 units and we're already there. So maybe that is the right way to do it. Just make a bunch of riders and they won't be able to deal with that. What else was there? Oh yeah, let's see how the unicorn thing schlonged us. How the heck do you just do that? You start with like 3 things. Maybe that means you can't make anything else though, or what? They must have some major disadvantage later on, but that is kind of bullshit. They start with like 3 or 4 things with 15 health. And then they had no problem seemingly making stuff back up. Learned the secret of archery. Didn't really help me too much. Damn, I kind of wasted that tribe too because I liked it so much. Just with starting with the on the horses or whatever. Yeah, it is cool how they all have like let's look at them once more. How do you like these ones had what capability? They started their journey in the dense mountains surrounded by beautiful cherry blossoms. They start with the climbing tack. Whoops. I don't want to actually do it. Huge mountains and green valleys. Climate is perfect for growing fruit. So these ones don't really have any notable. They're kind of just balanced though. Surviving the harsh winter of the Eternal Barter Woods is no easy task, but they seem to thrive here. Starts with the hunting tack. Seemingly endless sun-blessed desert is home to the Umaji tribe. Umaji starts with the riding tech, but that means they don't have a gathering capability, right? Even this technically doesn't, right? You can only climb, which you still have to learn mining. This one you start with the ability to get fruit. This one you start with the ability to get food. So these are more like, I don't know, just like balanced ones. These are more like ramp or something. You have to like kind of just take advantage of whatever that tree is. Like this, you're just going straight for the riding. Disable, what does that mean? Like just prevent it from being part of the match, I guess. We would still have 8 lives left, and then you can potentially buy the other ones.